Hey guys. Hi. And I know I never pronounce your name right. Omni Creative Corner. Hi Gaga, Ashley, Kayla. Thanks everybody. Happy hump day. Hi Kat. The little camels. That's cute, Kat. Oh my gosh. I gotta remember to tweet in about 15 minutes. Hi, Natalie. Pippi. Hi, Pippi. It's Ani. Anile as a Nile. Anai. Anaya. Okay. Anaya. Okay. Anaya. Okay. Anaya. Okay. Let's see. Other Carla, Teresa, Stacks, Nashwa. Who else am I missing? I got the mail. You said, "Oh, you're welcome, Ashley! Yay! You're welcome." Joyce, Darla, Ann. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for popping in. Gonna color with markers today. I got some new the what do you call it? Master's Touch, the Hobby Lobby brand. I'm going to test out the Hobby Lobby brand. The Master's Touch Hobby Lobby brand, all their stuff's on sale for 50% off. So I got one pack. I got the skin tones, and that's what you always should get if you're interested in markers. Test the skin tones first to see if you like those markers. if you do anything with faces, you want to make sure that those work well. Hi, Janet. Hi, Sammy. Hiya. Oh my gosh. Happy. Let's see. Sharon, Mary, Elaine, Kim. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week. Got a glare right there. Let's move my thing over a little. How's everybody doing? AJ, Christina. If anybody, yeah, hiya. Hi, Ian. So if you're watching for the first time, joining us for the first time, or watching the recording, I always come on a little bit early to say good morning to everybody. So if you want to get right to the project, just slide that little bar over. Let's see. Joyce, B. Let's see, who else am I missing? Jersey. So hope everybody's doing well. I thought I got this one out, the Grazia Salvo Flowers&Gems, because it just has good faces. And I've done this one's done with marker. We did this a while back. And so I know that the paper will take it okay. So, yeah. And so I tore out 3 different pages. I might work on 2 or 3 of them, just kind of testing them out, testing out the markers and just playing with it. I don't know if I'm going to finish anything today. It's hard to finish a full page in 3 or 4 hours. So we'll see. Hi, Cat and Paste. Jacqueline. Oh, you're not far from me, Jacqueline. We're neighbors. We're neighbors, Jacqueline. Let's see. Love your portraits. Are you trying new markers? Yeah, I'm trying. Hi, Cassie. Yeah, I'm trying the Hobby Lobby brand. I only have the one set. I just bought the one set of skin tones. Like I said, they were all Master's Touch, which is the Hobby Lobby brand. They're on sale for 50% off. So I got the skin tone set. They're like $30 for a set. And I got it for 15. And it comes with 6 markers in a set. You can buy the blues, the greens, the reds, the purples, the skin tones, but I just bought the skin tones just to test them because I have a lot of, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hi, Barbara. Ian, I love that new drawing you did. Well, my phone's charging. I can't. I gotta wait a few minutes. It's charging up. But Ian, if y'all don't follow Ian on Facebook, he always posts some awesome art on Facebook on his Facebook page. Let's see who else. Mitts. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I'm not talking real loud. I'm trying not to talk loud, and sometimes I talk loud. Let's see. Awesome. I've been looking for markers I can afford. We'll see how they do. Yeah. I'm going to test them out, but I've got the Hoo Heroes or whatever they're called. I have some other brands. I've tried the Blick marker. I'm just, let's just be honest. Nothing blends like a Copic. I've never found anything that blends like a Copic. Now, that being said, I did find these and the Blick markers, alcohol markers, do have the brush tip. A lot of alcohol markers do not have the brush tip. You want the brush tip if you're going to get into markers. Now, if you're going to start with Copic, start with the Chow. They're the least expensive, and you can buy a skin tone set. I think they have 2 different sets. I don't remember how many come in their little sets, but they're relatively inexpensive for the Chows. Okay. So, but test it with the skin tones if you're going to color faces and stuff like that. Let's see who else. I got my juice. I got my coffee. The door is open. The cats have been in and out. I hear one bringing me a toy as we speak. So, yeah. So I'm going to pick one of these 3 or maybe work on a couple different skin tones. So I have 3 different girls. So I could do some darker skin, some lighter skin. I should pull out some of my other, well, no, because I'll just stick with this. I've worked on this one right here. I did give her fangs. So let's see if I can line up my camera just a little bit more. Up here. See, look, a toy. A cat toy appears. Oh, baby, this is so sweet. They're the sweetest ones. I know. I can't throw it, though. If I throw it, he'll go diving over my computer. So, yeah, I know you want me to throw. You got sleepy in your eyes. Let me get the sleepy. Come here to mama. Come here. Come here. Get the sleepy out of your eyes. Oh, baby. There we go. You want me to throw your toy? I can't throw it that away, though. Come on. Yeah, he wants to dive over the computer. Hi, Nanamo. Hi, Kathy Berg. Let's see. Who else am I missing here? Who else am I missing? Let's see. I need to move the camera over this way. Or, well, I really don't because I'm going to be right in here. So what's everybody working on this week? Anybody got, hey, Animated Soul. How you doing? There's somebody else that y'all should follow. Let's see who else is here. And y'all know you can just go to the end of the name of the person and click the name and it'll say go to channel and it should just open a new window. And hi, Violet. And then you don't have to leave here. You can just go follow people that away. Let's see. Now you're going to be working onto your scavenger hunt. Okay. Teresa got her cards mailed. Cleaning up from yesterday. Yeah, Kathy, you and Colleen made quite the mess, didn't you, with the tea dyeing? Kathy and Colleen yesterday dyed all kinds of stuff with tea. And there's also tea dyes. They're not for drinking. They're tea dyes. Don't drink the tea dyes. Let's see. Still doing the scavenger hunt? Yeah, I know. Janet's scavenger hunt is so fun, isn't it? Ashley, I'm working on the Girl in the Gown Magical Dawn. Uh, Relnev explains how to draw skin tones and markers. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that today. We're going to do it today. We're going to just use, well, I always say we're going to just use markers. I always add pencil at some point. I add pencil, or I might add some, what do you call it? Posca white highlights pen. I might use some of that paint pen. I'll use whatever works. Hi, Zeely. Yes, coloring today. It's been a while. It's also been a while since we did some abandoned places collaging. We got to get to that too. Just kind of did some light things the last couple weeks. You know, coming off of holidays and trying to think of all kinds of things to do every week, 2 times a week. I don't know if y'all are streamers, you know what I'm talking about. And I've been doing it for over 9 years now, going into 10 years. So, coming up with a couple projects every week. And that doesn't include the things I do for myself, commissions or projects I'm doing, creativity projects I'm doing for myself, or my reading or my writing. So it's a lot to think about. So the last couple weeks have been kind of chill, just saying. Hi, G. So yeah, because that's and I've rarely missed any time in 9 years. And I used to stream 3 days a week. I used to stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I cut it back to Monday and Wednesday. So that's a lot of stuff to come up with. Hi, Kirsty. I'm working on Jasmine Beckett Griffith's Mermaid and Dark Fantasy Coloring Heaven or Haven. Yeah, I love my Jasmine books too. I haven't worked in those in a while either. Thanks, Jersey. Oh, the chill ones are fun too. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta, hi, Suze. Suze is working on the scavenger hunt. Y'all make sure and tag your scavenger hunt tag so that Janet can see what y'all are doing. It doesn't count unless there's pictures or videos. You like the Flowers and Gems book? Good, Nanamo. So, all right, let me go ahead. It's about a quarter till. Let me go ahead and tweet real quick. I already have a picture taken, so let me tweet real quick. Hang on. I don't like to tweet too early, but I don't want to tweet. I forget to tweet sometimes. All right, let's see. Picture. Oh, baby, let's post a picture with you in it. How about that? We'll post a cat picture. Those are always good. So I'm not doing pan pastels or painting. So the cats, as long as they're not like right here, I'll let them stay in for a while. Impromptu shopping video. Oh, well, Ian, do we want to bring those up? Yeah, I had a haul video in there. That one wasn't a live show though. That was I just threw that up there. But yes, there is that. And there's always books. There's always books, Ian. I love me some books, color books, art books, mysteries. I love books. I love to read. Love to read. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Carly. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Let's see, Miss Mary Berry and Cheryl. Who else did I miss? I'm sure I'm missing some people coming in. Joyce B, I think I said hi to you. So this is a page we did a while back, and I don't know if I posted a picture. It's markers do go through alcohol markers. Are alcohol markers. Now, that being said, I do I don't use these usually for coloring. I'll use these for coloring little areas that you don't have to have smooth blends, because these do not blend. They're not, unless you add water to them and make them like a watercolor. They're not like alcohol markers where they blend. Hi, Eileen. Um, but they're fine for coloring, like when you do the fantasy flowers and mushrooms, and they're little and tiny. These are great for that. Now, they are water-based, so they will move if you put something over the top of them. You just have to always test. Look, let's see here. Always test and see what happens. You know, these are the Copics and the alcohol markers. See, they go through. Always, if you're going to work in your book, make sure you have a piece of cardstock behind whatever you're working on so it doesn't go to the next page. I actually have one in here where that happened. See, it went through because I wasn't paying attention to what I was testing on. But anyway, this is an awesome book. Here's another one. We worked with some different, we tested the pan pastels versus the Jane Davenport makeup type chalks. We did a test with those one day. So here's the pages. Let me just kind of do a quick little flip other than the ones I've already pulled out. So you can see there's just lots of awesome faces in this book. And make sure if you color in someone's book, you tag them or link a picture of their book or something to give them credit for their work, because it's a lot of work to do a color book. Ask Laura Lou or Christine or, you know, any of the girls doing color books. So I did pull these through. Like I said, we worked on this one at some point. I don't even remember when we did this one, but we did this one with markers. And the white is, and the teeth and those little white hairs, those are done with a Posca. Okay. As are the highlights in the eyes. So just so you can kind of see that. So I pulled these three, and what I thought I would do is maybe work on a couple different ones. A light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl. Okay, well, let me straighten up my camera here, and I will zoom in when we start working. So I'll probably work on a couple different ones. You like the blue hair, Nanamo? Yeah. I'd like to do pink hair. I've done green hair, purple hair. You know, you can do whatever you want. Kenny sent me this one, Claire. I'm sure you can find it on Etsy, maybe on Amazon. Kenny sent me this one, Flowers&Gems, Grazia, Salvo. There's the name and the artist there. So yeah. Hi, Joanne. Let's see, Arlene. Who else am I missing? I know I'm probably missing people coming in. Jennifer D. I said hi to Eileen, the enabler. Who else? If I miss seeing you, I'm not doing it on purpose. So, yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. So, I'll set this aside and we'll decide which ones we want to start on. I think I might do, I really like the details in her dress and her tattoo. But if I just want to do start with skin tones, I should probably do these two. Let's do these two. I mean, I'll do one at a time, but you know. Colleen's taken over your duties. Oh, as far as enabling, yeah, I hear you, Eileen. Especially books. I know me and Colleen can get enable those books, right? Okay, so let's see here. Hi, Mary. And Mary streams in the mornings right before I do. All right, let's see. I'm still crooked on the camera. There we go. That's better. I'll kind of stay this far away at first. All right, sorry guys, I'm having to move it, but it's a little crooked for some reason. There we go, that's better. Um, Hi, Amy, Karen. So, all right, so as I was saying, now it's a little too far away. Let's move it closer to me. My camera hangs on a yardstick. I've shown y'all. I have one of those gorilla arms attached to my camera. It's like a little mini tripod. And then those little legs around a yardstick, and the yardstick is sticking on a bookshelf under heavy weight. So I can kind of slide it this way and, move it up and down shelves. Of course, I can zoom in with my camera settings. So, yeah, nice, easy setup. No, nothing really complicated or fancy about it. So, and I do have a separate microphone, and yeah. Okay, so if you're talking to me, guys, make sure you put it in caps if you're talking to me. And then also, if make sure you're on live chat at the top. And if you have it clicked on top chat, you won't see all the chat. So you want to make sure and click live chat above the chat window. Tell them it's a boom. Oh, it's a boom arm. Okay, yeah, it's a yardstick boom arm. Ian. Yeah. Well, it is a boom arm, but it's just a stick one. It's a wooden one. I've shown y'all pictures of everything. And the other thing that I want to make sure and try to do at least once a week or so is to do something like our 1001 ways to be creative. Let me get a sip of juice before I read. So I got this book. I got this one at Tuesday morning. I'm going to read the intro, and then I'll read a couple of the creative inspiration prompts. It's a prompt book, essentially. And so these kind of things are good to write down, put them in your Society Idea Collector notebook. And if y'all don't know what that is, go look at my playlist. I don't remember how many videos I have in the Society of Idea Collectors, but it's a creativity, making yourself a creativity notebook to keep your ideas in. And it's called the Society of Idea Collectors, SOIC. And that was coined by Sassy Pants Jean. So, yeah. And Mary, who is here and comes on before me, nobody does not even me. I don't even do Society of Idea Collectors as well as Mary. Just saying. All right, so let me read this introduction. The creative instinct is an enormous super energy. It is the unexplicable burst of inspiration that suddenly allows you to see from a new angle or bring something new into existence. The power of novelty interrupts the usual and introduces you to action. Now, that being said, I like to say that, my motto is 99% of inspiration is in your butt. You sit down and you start. That's where inspiration starts. Okay. Most people crave the joy of letting their brains roam free, unencumbered by deadlines and schedules. We delight in working with our hands, get a thrill out of creating something beautiful, and yearn to indulge our interest and passions. But the creative spark can be elusive as our day-to-day responsibilities and routines overtake novelty. The first step to becoming more creative is to give yourself permission to spend time on these frivolous. When I do the air quotes, it's actually is in quotes. Okay. The first step to becoming more creative is to give yourself permission to spend time in these frivolous pursuits. You will be amazed at how this indulgence will improve the quality of your life and relationships. In 1001 Ways to Be Creative, the third book in my 1001 Ways series, you will find energizing ideas and tips for bringing more creativity into your life. Whether your passion is music, art, dance, writing, or theater, or if you are still seeking the creative outlet that is right for you, this book speaks to all who seek greater creativity in their lives. I also share thought-provoking quotes and lists that will help you that will lead you to inspiration. Dip in anywhere and see where each page takes you. Creativity isn't only about artistic skills, it is a way of seeing the world. It gives you the power to shape your life, unify and balance your interest, and emphasize your uniqueness. What is your recipe for creativity? It's all about what makes you you. So that's the intro. Oh, thanks, Mary. And so I thought I would just read like the first 8, and I'll just kind of tag the page, or let's put a post-it note in there, and then maybe just read maybe 8 a week or something like that. That'll last us for a few years. Now the book I did get it Tuesday morning for $3.99, but I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. The ISBN is 978-1426219078. Okay, and it's in the US, it's $19.99. Of course, I'm sure it's cheaper on Amazon. I got it for $3.99 at Tuesday morning. Okay, so I'm going to read these first 8. Number 1, play. Number 2, make a miniature version of anything. Number 3, design a family crest. You can even include your pet. I like that one. 4, find an intriguing item in an antique store and seek out its history. And then I'm going to add a little addendum to that, or make one up. Find an antique. If you have an antique in your house or something vintage, pull it out and write a story about it. Make up a story about that antique. Where it came from, who created it, its life, how did it get to you? Create a story on some antique or vintage item. I just added that on there. Number 5, do not look for an audience, admiration, or validation right away. Create for yourself first. Number 6, for one day, bestow a unique and truthful compliment on each person you see. Number 7, reflect on the people who have stirred your creativity. Is it possible to recreate that inspiration by yourself? Number 8, teach your unique knowledge of something. So there's 1 week's worth of stuff. So take those 8 things for the next week, or however, until we read some more. And hi, Artful, and use some of these to inspire you. And that's all I'm going to say, so we don't overwhelm. So again, that's 1001 Ways to Be Creative, a little book of everyday inspiration. Barbara Ann Kipfer, best-selling author of 14,000 Things to Be Happy About. I might have that one too. Just saying. So let's see. Hi, Christine. Julie Topaz, happy, wonderful Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, write them down, Miss Mary Berry. Okay, so these are the 2 girls that I want to work on. And like I said earlier, I bought a set of the Hobby Lobby brand Master's Touch because they were 50% off all Master's Touch, which is a Hobby Lobby brand name. And so I'm going to test these out. I do need to get another... you know what? I think I'm just going to tear out the. I'm just going to use the intro because I've already started using this, and I always cut off the perforation. It is a perforated, but I don't want these little edges left in the book, so I just tear the whole thing out and then cut off the spiral stuff. So. And again, here's the page that I colored previously, and we're working out of Flowers and Gems by Grazia Salvo. So that's what I'm working out of. Here's one of the pages that I've completed at some point. And yeah, so we're going to, and this one's markers as well. So you can see it does go through. Just FYI, alcohol markers. So I'm going to keep this, I'll just keep it over here somewhere handy. You probably won't be able to see it, but I'm going to test colors out on here. Maybe I could there we go. So anyway, I had a 50% off coupon. So I bought a set, the skin tones. And I always say this, if you're going to test out some new markers, other, Copics or anything, to see if you like them, make sure that you, let's move these down here just to show you for a minute. Make sure that you get a few and test them out. And I recommend, if you're going to use them in Colorbook pages, to get a set of skin tones. I think the Copic Chows, they're the least expensive, and I think they come in a set of 4 or 5 skin tones. I think there's a light skin tone and a dark skin tone in a set. It's been so long since I bought the sets that I don't remember, but you know that they're the most budget friendly of all Copics. And then I have some sketch here, and so I just kept it mostly just to the Copics here, and I'll try to keep them so you can see a little bit of the color there. And then the new Hobby Lobby Master's Touch. Okay, so I got a dark skinned girl and a light skinned girl, so I'm going to start. And usually let me also preface this by saying I am not a Copic. I'm not Copic certified. I'm not a Copic master or anything. I just play with them just like anybody else. I mean, I just go for it and see what happens. And so if you want some real Copic expert teachers, there's tons of them on YouTube. And I would recommend, if you want to know more about Copics, what to blend with what, which 2, 3 colors go with each other, like what are the blues that correspond with each other and all that, then you need to do more, because they can be very advanced and very in-depth. Copics can be very in-depth. Hey, cats are fighting. Hang on. What are y'all doing in there? Hey, break it up, children. Break it up. Break it up. Stop it. Okay. Tempers seem to be running a little high. Okay, so is the girl with the yellow flowers from the same book? Yes, Cassie. Okay. Now, she didn't have fangs. I added the fangs myself. Okay, so I'm going to start with the light skinned girl here. And again, I'm going to start with, now the first thing I notice about these is the caps are very tight, and it's probably because they're new. Now, one of the things I do like about the Master's Touch is they have the brush. Other than Blick, and I don't know if Arteza or Arteza, however you say it, have come out with alcohol markers with the brush tip. Maybe if somebody knows, they can say, why are Copics so expensive? Yeah, Copics really are better than other alcohol markers. Now, that being said, I have not tested these, but as far as blendability, a lot of times they might have a brush tip like Blick markers, and they might have good colors, but it's how they blend. It's all about how they blend together. And different papers are going to blend differently. This paper right here has a little bit of a tooth to it. It's not like Bristol Smooth. It's not Bristol Smooth. So you're going to have a little bit more, what do you call it? You'll have to work a little harder at blending on a non-smooth paper. And you have to test the papers. The papers are almost as important as the markers. Okay. Yeah, you can refill Copics. Yeah. And they have replaceable tips. Yes. So if y'all want to tell each other Copic tips, feel free. Okay. Feel free. Hi, Debbie. I know I'm probably missing people. I always say that. Karen. So, okay. So I did mark out some of the colors. And again, their caps are really tight, which can be good. You don't want them to dry out. And so like, here's the lightest of the skin tones. To me, let me zoom in some more because you're not going to be able to see the brush strokes if I don't. Here come the cats. I'm going to have to move them out, I think. I want to refocus. One of the things about them, now I'm going to do this here on the test sheet here, because this is the same paper as this. So when you do your test with markers or whatever you're testing, you want to test on the same paper that you're going to work on, right? Okay, so the first thing I notice is it is a pretty color and it's going down smooth. I kind of wait to see how it dries. So here's where I went a little faster and here's where I went a little slower. Okay. Now, that is the lightest color, I think. Let's see how light this one is. Yeah. So that's the lightest color, which isn't very light. Okay. This is not the lightest color. The other thing I'll say is I don't use blender markers. I know that this brand does, and I think Copics does too, sell blender markers. To me, the blender markers really aren't for blending. It's more like they erase. Okay. They don't really blend. That's what I found. Now, there may be tips and tricks and Copic secrets, faithful, that I don't know about. But so here I've got, this is a Chow E000. And let's just see how light that is. Can y'all see how light that is? That may be even too light. Let's go up one to E00. No, that's E02. Here's E00 in the sketch. Okay, so that's better. So you see how light that is? This one right here is the Copic sketch. Now, I bought the 6 set of skin tones. There may be others that I don't know about. I just bought this set. Okay, but the lightest one is that first one that we did. So that's not really light when it comes to skin tone and blending skin tones. So I'm going to see. Let's do a couple tests here. Let's do the lightest and the next lightest in the Hobby Lobby brand. And again, they're really tight. All right, so I'm going to put this color down, and then I'm going to do this color, and let's see how they blend. Okay, so they're so similar, you may not even be able to see a difference on those. Let's go one darker, maybe. I want to do a test. See, now that's really dark. That is dark. I'll notice right off that is much darker than the cap. Look at that. It's much darker than the cap. So let's take the lightest one again, and let's see if we can blend those two. Okay, so I'm having to work on this paper to make those two colors go together. I'm really having to really saturate the paper to get them to blend. You can see it did blend, but it took a minute. Okay, now let's test a Copics. Like a light and the next one up here. All right. Okay. Okay, it blends much faster. Let me do 2 darker colors so you can see. Let's try this one. Okay, so there's a darker, and some of mine are getting a little low on ink. So okay, that's the first thing I noticed. The Copics blend much quicker. They blend much faster on this paper here. And that's the thing about Copics. Copics always blend. They always blend. Let's do a blue. Now I don't have the blue in these colors, but just to show you a blend. Okay, let's try these 2 colors of blue. Okay, so there's a dark and here's a lighter. Okay, now let's go one lighter, even still. Okay, so you see? Oh, thanks, Carla. So that's the thing about Copics is they always blend well. But here's another thing. If you're just going to be coloring in color books and you just want a nice coloring effect, you're not going to be doing, manga to sell or anything like that, then, buy a set of something like this just to test out, just to play with them, right? All right, so for this light skin girl, I'm going to have to use Copics because these are not light enough, okay? So we'll see. All right, so I'm going to start with my light. Okay, let's start with E0. I think it's E00. Yeah, E00. So the first thing I do, now again, guys, this is just me. For one thing, to blend well with Copics, you want to keep a wet edge. But what I usually do first is I can go back and get it wet again, but I usually start the skin with just a nice light coat over the whole skin. Okay. And it's easier to, if you're when you're, let me see how I can explain this with a blue. When you're doing like a full area, you want to keep moving. You want to keep moving. Otherwise, otherwise you're going to get like that. See, light and dark. So you want to keep it wet. That's the secret for getting a smooth blend, is like wet into wet. So when you're blending and or covering a full area, you want to keep the areas wet. Now, one of the things about doing a grayscale book is you've got your shadows there, and that can be good and it can be bad, depending. One of the bad things about it is you always have that gray undertone unless you cover it up with pencil. But you're going to have that gray, because it's a color book and it's grayscale and they got a shade. So the shading is going to be gray. And the best way I found to get rid of it, and it's very light, it's very light, it's a little darker than that, but the best way to get rid of with that is to use pencil over it. Shade away the gray. Shade away the gray. Oh, I like that. Shade away the gray. So I'm just going to put down a nice coat here. Okay, same thing for her arms. I know it's probably hard to see this color because it is very light. It's E00. There's even a lighter one, E000, but she's not translucent. So I'm just going to start by putting down one layer. And then we'll go back and shade. So any questions, put it in caps. Yeah, well, now you can do layering of blues and purple. You can do that too. Undertone, skin undertone colors, but I'm not good enough at Copics to do that. I can do it in pencil, but I'm not good enough in Copics to do the I do it a little, but not that much because I haven't practiced enough to do undertones in the skin, whether it's yellow, blue, purple, whatever color undertone skin color undertone there is. I'm not good enough at Copics to do that very well. I do it a little, but not proficient at it. So there you go. You can see I got a light color, light base coat. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to our darker skin girl. And again, let's test our colors here. Let's test our colors. Let's see how much. Okay, that's too orange. Let's see. That's like the darker of that orange. And this color is going to be way too dark. See, there's not going to be enough variation. This could be good for a shadow, but let's see. Got two more colors to test here. That one, that's okay. This actually needs to be a shadow on that girl. Let's see. Boy, these caps are tight. That one's okay. So here's my issue with the skin tones for the dark skin. I have a good shadow color, but I don't have a good base color. These two are good for shadows, but I need a better base color. So let me look over here in my Copics. No, that's too dark. Well, I might have to go with one of these. I still think that's a little dark as a base because you want to keep highlights. These caps are so tight, guys. I mean, really tight. Okay, we're going to go with this one. We're going to go with the lighter of the two darks with the new ones. Bye, Cassie. All right, so let's test it over here on our fingers here. Okay. It's a little dark when you do even dark skin. Those are her fingers there. Um, I like to keep highlights, which I might have to go back with pencil, but I'm going to try this. This is our test. This is our practice. And again, you want to keep a wet edge to have it blend smoothly. And this is just the base color. So it's blending nice. This is the Hobby Lobby brand. It's keeping a nice wet edge to blend. The other thing that's nice about a little bit thicker paper like this is it's not feathering. It's not feathering out very much. You know, sometimes when you get right up on an edge of something with markers, it can bleed out, feather out over the line. So you have to watch that too. That's why it's always important to explain. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Somebody said something. Please explain the numbers on the caps. That's just their numbering system. Now, how they work things in Copics, and I'm not a Copic expert, guys, but they go together. Like they have B's for blue, BG for blue green, and they have E's, and then E00 is the lightest, or E000 is the lightest skin tone, and it's just their numbering system. And what they do though is, because if you stick with, say, and I'm just going to make up the numbers because I don't know the numbers, but let's just say you had B001, B002, B003, B004, 5, whatever. Well, you can take 1 and 4, and those they all go together. That's like little families of color. It's all families of color. Hi, Anastasia. Okay, so let's go back to this. And so far, other than the caps being really tight, I'm seeing that it is keeping a nice wet edge. It is blending well. I think the thing for me on this so far is I don't have, there's not enough colors in just this one set. But it is blending. It's keeping, the wet edge. And again, these are the Hobby Lobby brand. I don't know how much ink is in them. I don't know how long they're going to last. I don't know if you could refill them with Copic ink, if you know the Copic colors well enough. I'm trying to kind of be messy here to see what happens if I kind of scruffy it and see if I can smooth it. See, I'm just kind of trying to test. So it seems to be doing fairly well. You gotta, if you want to keep it, you got to keep it wet if you want to blend, as you can see. Okay, now let's see. Do I have a similar color? I don't think I have a similar color to this one. This is probably my closest in the Copic. Let me see what that is. It's a little oranger. It's a little more orange than this one. I'm trying to see. Let's try this one. No, that's the same one. I'm trying to just test some different colors. I don't have the full set of Copic, so I can't tell you every single thing. Do these markers need to be stored sideways? I store all, anytime there's a double tip, if there's a double tip marker, like this has the chisel tip and has the brush tip, I store them on their sides just because that keeps the ink uniform on both sides. I've heard different people say it doesn't matter. They, the ones that use their brush tips all the time, they store them with the brush tip down. I store them all on their sides. So yeah, the cost. Well, these are six of the Master's Touch are normally $29.99, so $30 for 6. But they always have sales for 50% off Master's Touch, which is the Hobby Lobby brand. So I got them for $15. I got 6 of them for $15, which is about probably the same you'd spend on a chow. on a Copic chow. The sketch, they can run between $5 to $7, $8 sometimes. These are about $5 to $8 each. Normal, that's without a coupon, not on sale, just normal price. So if these are if I can get 6 for $15, what is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, what is that? $3 each, something like that. Close, so they're, if you get them with a coupon, a 50% off coupon. Okay. So anyway, you just gotta, if you're going to use them, that's a thing. So I'm trying to keep the wet edge here and keep it blended. And I enjoy playing with markers, but I'm not proficient at them enough to do all my work in them. But they're fun, and I enjoy them. But I don't use them enough to be, not like I do pencils. And again, you're going to have to, like the gray scale, it shows if you're using markers on a grayscale color book. The gray will show through, which is good because you see where to shade. But at the same time, it has a gray undertone to it with markers. So if you want to get rid of the gray, you have to shade it away. I just came up with that. I like it. Instead of wash that gray away, like out of your hair, you shade it away. Janet wants to build a wall of color. I built a wall of color. I built my own wall of color here, Janet. I don't know if you're talking about for storing your stuff. I built it out of a black foam board, foam core. I think it took 2 sheets of large being relative, that you can get a 8-foot sheet. I didn't get that. I got the 4. Let's see, what is it? 4 by 6, 5 by 5, something like that. Anyway, it took 2 full sheets, if I remember correctly. 2 full sheets of foam board and a roll of packing tape to build my build right here. So again, I'm just putting down a base, trying to keep a wet edge. You can go back and wet it again, but every time you go over it, it's going to get darker. Every time you go back over it, see, it's going to get darker. Let me finish getting this base coat on, then I'll look at chat. And again, these are what I'm doing here is with the Hobby Lobby brand. Yes, I built a marker mansion. Here, I'll show it to y'all if y'all want to see it. I'm going to move the camera. Don't anybody freak out. I'm going to move the camera, but it sits right here in front of me. So I'm going to tilt the camera up here. Whoops, I pulled it off the thing. Hang on, I'm so zoomed in. So see the black foam core? Goes all the way across my whole 6-foot desk. So it's 5.5 feet, I think. 5.5 feet long. It's just built out of foam core board and what do you call it? Packing tape. Yeah, you can use pen. Well, depend what kind of pen, Cheryl. You can go over if it depends on what you want to do with it. Pen will go over Copics. Yeah, pencil will go over Copics. I do. I don't have half the colors of markers. Most as a lot. I have my I have the 100 set of the Crayola Super Tip water based, and you can use those like watercolor. Okay. Then I have Copics, and then I have these other ones. These were another off brand. I have the Hoo Hoo Hero brand. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. Some random different ones. And I have Copic, the chows. I have the chows in all the skin tones. That's the only ones that I have in the chow, the skin tones. Then I have sketch, and then I have the original square ones. What an 8-foot desk that fits in 4 foot of space. Harry. Well, the table, it's in my tables. I have four of them in my room, four tables that they're just those fold out kind. They're the kind you buy at the Home Depot. They're fold out tables. I don't want to call them picnic tables, but they have that rough texture on them. And what I do is I just put a couple layers of paper. All the edges are taped around. And when the table gets dirty, I just throw another layer of paper. I don't even take the old paper off. I just keep piling on paper. At one point, I forget how many layers I had on one. And then I just use packing tape. I use packing tape around the edge of the table to tape the roll of paper. I put black on my table, and then I put different kinds of paper right where I'm filming, right? So this faux wood paper, is just that's only a couple of feet wide. But my tables are covered with just a roll of black paper. So yeah, that's a target. Exactly. Yeah. Mhm. That's what it is, all right. They're a big picture window in front of my desk. I don't want to block view. Yeah. Well, I do have it's not, I don't know if it's a picture window, but it's tall. My room is like the shape of a barn. I've shown y'all before. So it's got like 20-foot ceilings, maybe higher. I'm not sure. High ceilings because my room is shaped like a barn, like this, you know, like that. So the light it's real light in here just because of the openness. And I have one nice big window. It's not a picture window. It's just a regular window, but it's lets in enough light right here. Sometimes too much light. The problem with when it's a real sunny day and you stream in the morning, it can be very bright and you have to close the window. I have to close the blinds some days because it just flashes out your camera. So it can be, can be tricky either way. So, okay, so let's see. Let's go back and let's see what we want to do here. Got all. So I've been using different skin tones. All right, so let's go now. Again, that's the wrong end. These lids are really tight. Okay, so let's put in a little bit of shadow here. Now, what you really want to do, and it is nice that the caps fit on the ends here. What you want to do when you're blending, like I said, you want to keep a wet edge. So you want to kind of go back and forth between your shade and your lighter color. If you want to blend, let's go over here and do a blend again. Okay. And again, I'm happy. Whoops, let's don't put it on there. It is a little bit harder to get these colors to blend than it is a Copic. The Copic, I'm just going to be honest, guys. I've never seen any markers blend like Copic ink blends. They have some secret formula that Copics Copics just blend like nothing else. All right, so I want some shadow now. Before that dries, I'm going to go to the lighter color and blend. saying? I want this a little darker, but I don't want it that dark color right in there. Maybe just a little right there in her ear. So I'm just going back and forth between these two. Now, true Copic masters, they're going to use tons of colors. They're going to use a lot of colors to shade. I'm going to drop the cap. Hang on. You know, they might use 3, 4, 5. They might use a ton of colors. Let me get a sip of coffee, guys. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, Mary. Get a 50% off coupon. Their masters are, well, I should say, you can get a 40% off coupon, or this week and it's like every third week. I think every third week, all the Masters Touch, which is the Hobby Lobby brand, goes on sale for 50% off. And this week, Mary, this week they're on sale, 50% off. But wait 3 weeks and they'll be on sale again. All right. All right, so let's see here. So while it's wet, you want to blend. And again, they're blending well, but they're not blending as well as a Copic. Just saying. Make some space here. You have to do it while it's wet to get it to blend really, really well. And kind of feather it. Hi, BD. I bet maybe blend better on a coated paper. Yeah, and that's what I did say earlier, Mary. The paper does matter. This paper has a little bit of a tooth to it, and there are marker papers. There are papers made for Copics. There is paper made for alcohol markers. This is a color book. You know, let's be honest. Every paper is going to be different. Every paper. You need to test every paper. But I picked this one because I've worked on it before. Here's one of the ones that we've done before with Copics. So you can see it worked fairly well. Again, it has a little bit of tooth. Yes, paper matters. But what I like about one thing about having a little bit of tooth on your paper, it's this paper, and again, I can't speak to all papers, it's not bleeding over. Now, I have gone out of lines a couple times, but it's not bleeding over the line. That's one of the nice things. Now, some areas you may not need a darker color. Let's just see if I just add some more of the same color. That may be enough color, darker color, you know? Because you layer it up and it's going to get darker. So I'm, save that real dark for in the shadows there. You want to keep highlights and but I've really saturated some of these areas right in here, and it's not bleeding over. But it does go through. So if you're working on in a color book, you either want to make sure it's a one-sided page Make sure it's a one-sided page and either tear it out or make sure and put some cardstock behind it. Yeah, it's going to all depends on the paper, and some smooth papers don't do well either. I think it's Serene. Um, the Serene that no, was it not Serene? It was another one. Anyway, there's a couple that in my color books that don't like Copics at all. It might have been the Serene book, not the Serene poster, because I'm working on the Serene poster, which I'm almost done. I need to finish up my Serene poster. I won't show you right now because I'm too zoomed in, but I'll pull it off the shelf to show you. I'll pull it off. It's folded up in here. The Nicholas Filbert, this is his Indian name, but he goes by Nicholas Filbert, Nick Filbert. Anyway, this is a huge poster I'm working on, and I base coated it with Copics, and then I'm shading and deepening it with pencil. And I'm determined to finish this. I wanted to finish it before now, but I'll show you that after when I pull the camera back. Oh, somebody said something about tonal value. Let's see. Let me go back up there. Mary, I love the bleed tonal values and dollar store pins for drawing coated paper. Yeah, and you just got to test everything. That's a thing. And you may be a Copic expert, and I'll tell you, a Copic expert would be the first one to tell you test your paper, whatever it is you're coloring on, because every color book is different, guys. Every color book is different. So I just want to shade a little bit on our thumbs here and the fingers. The paper matters so much. And I'm just going back and forth just between these two markers. You like the poster jersey? Yeah, I've got a, it's just, it's not a priority, I should just get it finished, but it's just not a priority in my schedule. So I do need to finish it though. And let's just do a little bit of shading with the first color. A little bit like that. I think that's pretty good. And again, I am not a Copic certified expert. So, but if you like Copics, trust me, there are thousands of videos out there that can teach you how to use them and use them well, right? But if you want to get rid of that gray, the grayscale completely, you're going to have to get in there with pencil, because you're going to see, I see it, maybe it doesn't show on camera, but I can see the gray undertone of the grayscale. Yeah, it is true, Kim. Paper matters on everything. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back up in her face now. Now let's see how much I don't do or don't need with the darkest. I can probably get most of my shading done with just another layer of the same color. Just layering up the same color. Going over it and over it, you're going to get darker. And then when you want it to you want to just kind of feather it, like flick If you want a soft edge, you just got to kind of flick it. So these are doing well for budget-friendly alcohol markers. And again, there's all kinds that you can get on Amazon. I have not tried it, and I'm not sure if Arteza or Arteza, however you say it, has a alcohol marker with the brush tip. I know they have alcohol markers out, but maybe one of you guys know if they have alcohol markers with the brush tip. But and there's other budget friendly ones similar. Hoo Hoo Hero or who? What is it? Hoo Hoo Heroes. I keep saying hero, but I don't think there's a hero in it. Let me grab one. Yeah, it is Hoo Hoo Hero. Okay, so these markers are alcohol based too, but they don't have. They have a bullet tip, see? And they're good too. Don't get me wrong. They're good but if you want to do the flicking and the blending, you really need a brush tip. And Blick has a brush tip, and these have a brush tip. Arteza does not have brush tips. Thanks, Vonnie. And good morning, by the way, Vonnie. I sent you a little happy mail, Vonnie. Did you get it yet? Okay, so I'm liking that so far. In any place that you see where I've got, and it's not that's not bleeding right there. That's not over bleeding into the white of her dress. That's where I've just accidentally gone out of line. So just saying, it's not bleeding at all. That's nice. Out of the edges. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Gail. You got yours too. All right. Dee, what are the marker tips on? They have the chisel tip, the wide chisel, and the brush. And it's the brush that you want. That is what you want in any alcohol marker. And like I said, Blick has it. These have it, and I'm sure there's other ones out there, but they're harder to find. Not that it matters, but do I assume that none of the alcohol markers are light fast? Probably not over the centuries, Ian. Markers are, yeah, they're alcohol-based markers, so they're not going to be, they're not going to be permanent. They're not going to be light fast. Some colors are probably more light fast than others. But, and also here's the thing, guys, it depends on what you're doing with them. I'm not doing portraits with them or anything like that. But a lot of products, they say they're not light fast. But unless you're sticking them out, unless it's direct sunlight 24 hours a day, my marker paintings are in books. They're in color books. They're in sleeves. They're in sleeves and binders. They're not out. They're not framed out in the light. You know what I'm saying? Butterfly says, Dee Dee, I started with her the other day. Now I see how you are shading blending. Is it now too late? Well, depends on how dark you got. You can't get, I say you can't get lighter. But the blender pens, which let me see if I have one up here. Hang on. The blender pens are really erase. I don't think they blend. They're called blender pens. Let's see if this one even works anymore. Let's get our little test sheet here. What to me the blender pen doesn't do is doesn't blend. It lightens. So you might be able to take a blender pen. I'm going to just keep doing it here until you can see. See how it erases? To me, the Copic blender, or this set does have a blend, not the set. This line, the Master's Touch markers, I saw it hanging up there. I think you buy 2 of them. You can get 2 blender pens for, sold separately. 2 blender pens in a pack. But I didn't even bother to get them because I know with the Copic blender, what it does is it doesn't really blend, it erases. So if you want to lighten something, let's see. Let's go ahead and do a test here. Let's see. See if I can get some lighter down here. All right, so I do notice one thing that it's doing when I'm doing that. It's making the edge not smooth. So if you're going to use a blender, which is really an eraser, you want to make sure you do it judiciously because you don't want to make a patch. You don't want to make a big patch on her skin or something, right? Let's see if I can do her shoulder here. Let's put a highlight on her shoulder. So it's lightening it up. It's taking it back to the paper. But I can't say I love it. Yeah, I know, Ian, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But I don't use my markers for any professional reason. If you're selling your marker art, you might want to make sure people aren't hanging it up in the sun. Let's see. Blenders are made with alcohol. That's why they erase. Yeah, exactly, Kim. But they're called blenders. They're called blenders, but they're not really blenders. See how that made like a watery patch on there? I don't know if I can get rid of that. But it was a test. It's a test. I don't know if I can blend that out. See, it's going to leave a water ring. Looks like she has a smallpox shot. For those of y'all that are old enough to know what that is. I used to watch, and I'm sure a lot of here that do. Have y'all watched Outlander? And I'm not sure if it ever showed this in the show. I quit watching it when they started really beating up on poor Jamie so much. I stopped watching Outlander, I think, after season 2, but I've read all the books. So there's something different about reading about the violence rather than seeing the violence. Y'all know what I mean? So anyway, I think her name's Guyla. Anyway, the woman that Claire meets when she goes back in time. She finds out that Gayla had gone back in time as well because she had a smallpox scar. So, how many of y'all have a smallpox scar on your arm from getting a smallpox shot? I don't think they do them anymore. I don't think they do smallpox shots anymore. Yeah, Carla. Yeah, me too. I got one. Yeah. Okay, Eileen says, I will say that the Copic refill inks are great to use on jelly plating. Okay, well, that's good. I only have a couple. The only ones I've ever bought, I got 2 or 3 or 4 of the skin tone ones, Eileen. I haven't bought any. I don't use them enough to do that, but there's another use for it. Eileen says that you can use the Copic refills on your jelly plating. Yeah, mine has 2, Gail. It's really faded too. But anyway, it was funny in the story. That was the smallpox scar was a thing in the story. And so that's how Claire figured out that Gayla, or however, I don't even know if that was her name in the book, something like that. It's been years since I read the books. I think they came out what was the first one? 1990. I think the first one came out in 1990. I read them all back to back, and I didn't read the last, I think 2. I just didn't keep up with it. But anyway, so that's how she figured out that she'd gone back in time, is because she has a smallpox scar. Why not use a brush with alcohol to rub in bits? What kind of, you mean like a brush dipped in alcohol? I think what would happen, Ian, is it would do what we just did here. It would make alcohol rings. I think it would make rings. Do you know what I'm saying? Because even with the markers, you have to do that flicking to get it to really soften. If you just threw some alcohol on there, it's going to just make rings. The Silken Pages letter, or I think they're legal size, Karen. I have her book. I have her first book. I don't know if it's a full legal size because it's a European size, Karen. Let me see if I can put my eye on it right while I'm sitting here. If I could put my eye on it, I would tell you. I'd pull the book off the shelf, but I'm not seeing it right in my line of sight. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the line of sight. I don't think it's a full legal size. It's longer. It's longer than 8.5 by 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11. I think it might be 8 by, it's not a full legal size though, 12 maybe? I don't know. What is that? A2, A4? I'm not sure. It's a little longer. It's a little bigger. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kenny. I'm trying with these markers. All right. So that was just with two of the Hobby Lobby brand. Okay. So now let's go back over here to her. And she's very pale. She's very pale so far. And I think I was going to go with one of the Hobby Lobby. Let's see which one. I forgot which one I was going to go with now. Nope, wasn't that one. That one I had for her. Was it one of these? No, it had to be. Well, which one was it? Was it this one? And I don't want to test it on the page. Okay, I think that's what it was. So I'm going to use the E00 because this is the lightest one. And I'll use this one Master's Touch color, which is 20. I'll tell you all the names of them, the color numbers if you want. All right, so let's see if I can see. This is a little on the dark side. Let's see if I can keep it wet and blend it enough. Oops, wrong man. See, the Copics, work fine with this. So, but I'm just saying, Copics. There's just something about Copics. There's some formulation in their ink that makes it blend so nice. I don't know what it is. But, you can, if you want to just test alcohol markers, get a set of something else that's more budget friendly if you're not sure you're going to like them. Or again, my recommendation for testing alcohol markers is to get a set of the the skin tone. There's two sets, and I don't remember which comes in which. I think there's a lighter set and a darker set. Get you a set or two of the which are the round ones, the least expensive Copics. Get you some skin tones of these. And Mary, if you have a coupon, Michael's has these sets. I don't remember if Hobby Lobby sells the chow or not, but Michael's does have them. They're behind the counter. You got to ask at the counter if you can get these for 50% off if you're wanting to test them. If you have them, have it handy. But either one, you can, because they all interchange. Winsor Newton has a brush tip, bullet tip on their pro markers, on their alcohol markers. Now, Vonnie, let me ask you something. And I don't know why, because I think the old pro markers, I think the Prismacolor pro markers, they were so smelly. Copics, you can smell them if you put them right up to your nose. These other ones, these do not smell. I can't smell these at all. These Hobby Lobby ones, I don't smell those at all. But some of the old, and maybe they formulated them better now, because I haven't sniffed a pro marker from Prismacolor in a long time, but they used to smell. You've never seen chows at Hobby Lobby? Yeah, they would be in a set. They don't sell, I know they don't sell them separate. They don't sell them separate at Michael's either, that I know of. They're only in sets. But if you want to test them out, get the skin set. Get the skin set at Michael's or wherever you can get it with a coupon. See, they'll take a coupon on them. Okay, these are the two colors I'm using, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go back to this one. I keep getting the wrong end. Okay, they have a gray. There is a gray line on the brush side, just like there is on the Copics. There's a gray line on the brush side. Oh, okay. Your sniffer doesn't work so well. You don't know. Okay. But while it's wet is when you want to blend. And you can re-wet them. I mean, it re-wets. But every time you go over it, it gets darker and darker. All right, let me just take the lids off these two while I'm using them. Have you used Tombow marker? No, I use the Tombows for lettering, brush lettering, but no. If I'm going to use a marker other than the alcohol markers just to play with, I just use the Crayola Super Tips because I can put the as like as watercolor too, because you can just color that down and get a water brush and it makes it like a little watercolor. Or you can use these straight on, and I do use them sometimes like that in like pages that don't need any blending because they don't blend. They don't blend. And I haven't tried the Winsor and Newton ones at all. I think I bought one time. I got a free one or something. But no, I don't use the Winsor and Newton ones either. Okay, let's see. No, I need the dark. So they're all a little different, you know. They're each one a little different. I'll check chat here just a second. Think I will marker on the flower. I think I will use marker on the flower. Yeah, you can and do tests. I mean, I did pull out some orange. Where's my orange? Um, some colors to use on the flower, red, yellow, and some orange on the flower. And I got some blues out too. Of course, I have other colors. I just pulled some easy colors out. I try to keep it, you know, as few colors as possible, just because let's see what we can do with a few colors. But it's like pencils. You could layer up color pencils 20 times as long as you don't get a wax bloom. If you're careful with your layering, you can layer up wax pencils 20 layers easily. Just confirm Tombow or water dye ink. Okay. Yeah. I the only time I use those brush tips are like for brush lettering, Bonnie. I used to use them back in stamping days, the Tombow markers with the brush tip on one side. I would use them on stamping. The Pro markers by Winsor Newton are old Letraset Pro markers, just renamed. Okay. Thanks, Ian. You know, because I'm not a marker aficionado, you know, like a lot of the marker guys and girls are, they would know those things. And if you look up guys on there's going to be tons of YouTube videos on all of them. You know, like I said, I started the show today saying I am not a Copic expert. I just play and just kind of, you know, learn as I go. So I'm just layering up here, guys, just getting a little until I get the shadow as dark as I want on her face here. And again, you do have to consider the grayscale that's underneath. All right, so let's see. Let's give her a little bit of a cheek here. And then after it dries, you can put another layer and you can keep layering. Okay. And you want to take your time. You know, sometimes I get a little hurried while we're on a stream, but you want to take your time. All right, let's keep rolling here. Again, I'm just using 2 colors. And trust me, you can use multiple colors. Multiple colors. Layering and layering. All right, let's see. Let's get a little bit shady there. Give her a little more of a chin here. Very subtle. All right, now let's go down into our arm here. So this may be translucent fabric, but I'm not going to work it like that. I'm going to go ahead and just give her some shadows under these folds. I think this is getting a little low. I should have refilled this one before we started. Let's see. Have to get something. Okay. Bye, Anastasia. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, thumbs up, people. Thank you. Thumbs up. Okay, let's see. I want a little bit more shadow on this side, under these folds. Maybe right under her little armband there. Okay, I'm going to have to refill this one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to refill it. Just put some drops on the tip and let it soak in. Just, you can put 3 or 4 drops on. You can see it going down into the nib. And just let it sit, let it go down. Oh, shalom, Mary in Israel. Welcome. I know. That's nice. Oh, yeah, it has been. Is there something I should know, Ian? Is it all okay? How many have I refilled? Well, not that many. I have skin tone refills and a black and skin tones. I've not bought any refills for like blues and greens and yellows. Some of them are really low and I should buy the refills for them. I just don't use them enough. I don't use them enough. But there are a couple that I need to refill. I think there's a green and a blue that I really like a lot that I should buy a refill for. Thanks, Ian. So I'm just taking a minute. You're usually going to get about 10 drops. That's what I do. Again, you need to ask the Copic experts how many they put in. And it's a good idea too. And I didn't do it on this one. It doesn't matter so much on a light color, but you want to have a Kleenex around it so that any drips down on the barrel, let me get a Kleenex. So if any drips down on the barrel, you can catch it because it'll stain your hand. So I just got a little bit right there. It's okay. All right, so let's see if that'll help with the blend here. There we go. It's just getting a little dried out, and they last a good long time. Which markers are $5.99 a marker, Eileen? I didn't see that. I didn't see what's $5.99. Oh, Tombow alcohol markers. Yeah, you might as well. Well, I'm not going to tell people what to buy, but if, if you get a Copic for $6.99 and a Tombow, it depends on what you're going to use it for. Depends on what you're going to use it for. The thing about Copics is there's so many colors. There are so many colors. That and their blendability. Those two things. I mean, I don't know any markers that have what 350 or something like that colors. I'm not even sure how many colors they have. So hope everybody's working on something while they're sitting. I'm always working on something when I'm watching other streamers. You can get a lot done watching a live show. I do. I get a lot done. I get lots done watching the streams. All right, so these two colors that I was using on her. Not, I forgot which ones I was using on her. I have to find them again. Okay, so the colors I was using on this girl here are one of the Master's Touch. This one was Pastel Peach, number 26. Again, I do not see these sold separately. I see them sold like a pack of 6 in skin tone, a pack of 6 green, a pack of 6 blue, a pack of 6 purple. I've not seen them sold individually. So the problem with that is if you run out of one color, not saying that they don't, I just haven't seen it. Maybe some of you have. But the problem with buying a set of something is if you can't replace one or two colors, then you got to buy the whole set again. You're working on feeding. Hi, Kalora. So, and then I use the Copic E00 for her. Now, this girl, I was using, I think it was this one and this one. The Copic, let's go over here and do a test. I'm pretty sure. Was that it? I think so. The Copic E97, and then I was using to blend this with it. Or was that? No, this was the main color, I think. Or maybe those were the two colors. I don't know now. You have to go back and see what I was using at the beginning. So anyway, I got these two. Let's see. Let's go with another layer here. I want to do a little more I want a little bit more cheek there. Just going to add a little bit more. I don't remember what color I was using to blend. And You can spend a long time doing this, guys. A lot of blend time and just spend time taking your time and blending and flicking. So that needs a little more blend there. Let's see. Was it this one I was using? Don't remember. Oh, these caps. The caps on they're so tight, which can be good. Like I said, that can be good. But it's annoying when you try to work quick. You just want to leave the caps off. I don't think this was the same color, but it's okay. Okay, let's see. Amelia, this is English channel. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So anyway, guys, we'll let's move on to a little something else. You can spend more time blending and getting it a soft, nice blend over and over again. All right. So let's see what color. Some eyes. And here's the last. This is the last girl we did in this book. She had blue eyes, and I did put the fangs on there. She did not have fangs. Hi, color me stress free. I'm not sure. Is that are you Prisma? I don't remember. Y'all girls that change your names. Okay, so let's see. Let's maybe do I want her to be a redhead, a blonde? Let's test a couple more colors here. Because I want some flowers. I think maybe I'll work on the flowers a little first. We never get to the backgrounds. I'm thinking on this one, if we had, okay, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. If we had yellow centered flowers, now I'll go over those little dots with something else, the little stamens. But if we had yellow flowers and a red background, and I'm not sure what color hair again, I'm kind of thinking blonde, but if we had some yellow centered flowers. And again, the only Hobby Lobby brand markers I had were those skin tones. I'm wondering if I want to color the whole background red with markers or do it. See, this is just me. If I was going to do a solid flat background, I'd just get out my acrylic paint. I just paint it, right? That's just me. Hi, Mark. Let's do a little test here. Let's do some marker. Because I'm thinking a red and white and yellow background. We'll color a little bit with marker, and then I think I'm going to get out paint to color, flat color the background. For one, it's easier. I'm not trying, because I'm not blending anything. It's just flat. So I'm having to use a lot of ink to make it blended. Do you know what I mean? So there's no lines. So you got to really saturate it to get a flat color with no lines, which I don't mind doing, but I can do it just as quick with paint. But I'll do a little bit with the marker just so you can see it. But when I'm coloring a page, I mix media all the way. I'll use whatever works. Pencil, marker, paint, Poscas. But I'll do this one little section here with the. But you have to keep it going and moving and keep it wet if you want a flat color. You got to keep a wet edge. See, that looks pretty though, the color. Yeah, I'm going to do it on the other girl too, just so you can see the red background with the dark skin and with the light skin. That was my kind of idea coming in today. I haven't picked hair color or eye color or anything like that. I just picked red for a background and their skin colors. That's a flower right there. So you can see how do you manage 3 + 4 hours streaming my voice? I just drink. I have coffee. And sometimes I have to go get more hot coffee and juice of some kind. I have cranberry juice because I just like the flavor of it. But lots of moistening. And I really, unless my voice starts going, I really don't think about it. I've streamed. I don't know. Somebody could probably remember. I think the longest I've streamed was 10 or 12 hours once or twice. I've done a few 8-hour streams. I could probably stream 8 hours really with not too much problem. I could sit here and stream for 8 hours. As long as my voice is, keeps going. Because that's not tiring on me most days. Now, if I didn't get a good night's sleep or something, then 4 or 5 hours, and I go, okay, I just start talking less when I start getting tired of during a stream. I'm not as talkative, and of course, some of that has to do with what I'm doing. What project. When I'm doing a collage, I'm so in the zone. And I can go 4, 5, 6 hours collaging a big poster. But by the time I'll sit down and read chat and I'm going, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm done, So yeah, but I can stream quite a long time. But then again, guys, I've been streaming over 9 years. So, some of it, hi, Lady Jan, some of it has to do with just doing it so long. And so many years, you just kind of, I don't want to say you kind of pace yourself, but you kind of do, except when I'm doing collage, I'm all in. I'm all in when I'm doing collage, a poster, creating a world. I can tire myself out a lot quicker doing a collage poster than anything else. Sitting here doing this, I could probably sit here and do this for 12 hours. And I have a couple times and a few times for 8 hours. So yeah, you just have to, it takes practice. It does take some practice, and the more you do it. Okay. So that being said, and I love saying that. So here's one of the pages that we did before, and the little hairs, that is Posca. That's white Posca. And so I am going to go ahead and get out some red paint and paint the background. Let's see what I need. Bright red, probably just some, that's a little oranger than that, but I'll just go back over it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see. And this one's a new one, so I haven't even opened this one yet. But I like it. See, that's the thing, guys. Whatever you do, if I've seen people come on, try to stream, and they'll do it for a month or 2 or 6. Then you don't see them anymore. They don't really like it. You have to love it, because one of the things I found, it's also got a thing on it. One of the things that I found to have, if you really want to build your channel and have a, channel, and my channel is not big, because comparatively speaking. Our channels do not usually, I mean, unless you're Mark Crilly or, there's a few, Proco, and, there's some other ones. But, our channels are not your typical large channels. Let me get the red there. Let me get a baby wipe to clean my hands. But is consistency. You have to be consistent if you want to grow your channel. To me, that's the number one thing. Is consistency. And you have to love it. Because if you don't love it, you won't stick with it. But that's true of anything. Let's see, needs to be a hobby. I got brand paint in black. Because, yeah, this is just Deco Art Americana paint. Craft paint. Anytime you see me using paint, collage, abandoned places, altered books, it's just craft paint. Unless I say otherwise. I mean, sometimes you'll hear me talk about using ink, and that's if I'm drawing, inking, Inktober, something like that. Yeah, it is, Ian. People, I've had a few people come on and go, oh, yeah, and I'll help anybody set up. If somebody wants to try, well, what do you need? What kind of, I burst your bubble with what, Kathy? But what? That you have to love it? I know you love it. I'm not sure how I burst your bubble, Kathy. But anyway, let me find a brush here. Because if you don't love it, you won't stick with it. But I'll help anybody set up. But then usually, what'll happen, not usually, but sometimes, you have to store your craft paint. All right. I store it on the side, but craft paint, that doesn't really matter so much. I store it on my side because my build that I built here, I can see the bottoms of them. If you store them on their side, you can stack them up, like, well, I don't want to move the camera again. But if you store them on their side, you can see the bottoms like this, and you can see it easier. If you have them all lined up like this and shoved in something, you're only going to see the front ones. So if you store them on the side, it's just easier to see all the colors. And then they find out it's a lot of work. Oh, that we aren't the big channel. I see. That our channels aren't the big channels. Yeah, they're not. Our channels, and that's why there's not even, there's, what is it? I think there's entertainment, but there's not even a craft art category. I think it's either entertainment or how-to. It's how-to, I think. You have to go under how-to. They don't even have an art category in YouTube. But there's quite a bit more work to it. Hi, Gary. There's more. It's time. There's where did I do my brush? Is that the brush I picked? I don't think so. I need a smaller brush. I thought that was the one I picked, but it isn't. Maybe this. There we go. That one will be good. Not only the time that it takes. I'm just going to go back over the marker so the color's all the same. The time it takes, you do clean up, got a lot of cleanup because you're not, you're moving things around when you're streaming. And so when you're done with the day, at least for me, and I don't know, sometimes Jana, I think she does too right away, clean up as soon as you're done. Kathy, do you clean up right after you're done? I don't know about Colleen either, because Colleen said she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning cleaning up the other day. But there's time. Time is probably the biggest thing. That and coming up with ideas every 2 or 3 times a week for 9 years. That's kind of a little bit of a challenge. I'm waiting for you to color and yeah. Now with the new COPA thing, we have to designate, and even though we select that as our option when we go to stream. No, baby, can't come over here where I'm painting. Cat just jumped up on the table. Um, we're not directed toward children. Our shows are not directed towards children. And a lot of people had a lot of confusion about that, thinking, "Well, I'm a family friendly channel." Well, that's not what they're asking. What they're trying to stop is ads directed at children. That's what the whole thing is about. Ads directed at children. Not do you cuss on your channel or none of that. That has nothing to do with it. That's not what it's about at all. So okay, so Colleen says she cleans up. Kathy goes, depends. I try to clean up. See, I have to clean up after because I'm not doing just streaming. I'm doing I do my commissions. I do a lot of other art. It's not just streaming. I art every single day. Pretty unless I'm going up to see Denise or something like that. I art every day. And so I have to have area cleaned up after I stream so I can do the next project, so I can do the next thing. So, yeah. So there's that. But I think the main thing, more than anything, is you have to love it because you'll burn yourself out if you don't. If you don't love it, it's like anything else. Then you're going to be forcing yourself. Well, it's really not. It's just a part of a mural. I'll show you, Pico. I'll show you guys what it is. Hang on, let me get my phone over here. And you got to be able to, if you're like right now, for instance, somebody asks you something, you have to be able to switch gears in your head and do rabbit trails. Either that, or you just go, I'll answer that later. I'm more the one that if somebody asks me a question, I'll go immediately and go on a rabbit trail. Now that bothers some people. And I do get emails. You have to be able to have thick skin because people are not going to like you. They're not going to like what you do. They're not going to like your personality. They're not going to like that you chat. There's going to be a lot, and you'll get those comments, those messages, those emails that they don't like what you're doing. And you got to be prepared for that. And you have to not give a crap. Just be honest. You just got to not care. But you have to be able to switch gears mid-thought and go to something else. Like Picola just asked me about the mural. And also be able to, and you get better at it as you go. You get better at reading chat, looking up, reading, working, switching gears. That's why I always tell people to put it in caps so I know you're talking to me. That way I don't have to concentrate on everybody else's conversation. I can just concentrate on what people are asking me. Some streamers don't like you to put things in caps because in internet world that's considered yelling. It's considered that you're yelling when you put something in caps, but that's my rule here. I want you to yell at me. I want you to yell, say, Dee Dee, I have a question. So if you're not putting it in caps, I might very easily miss it. But you got to be able to switch streams. So Picola was asking me about, you just got to ignore the nasty people. Block them, mute them. And if you have trolls, you just got to kick them. I don't put up with it. That's just me. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for that negativity in my life. But anyway, let me go to my picture. So what I'm doing, and any of y'all that follow any of the comic book world like I do, and the comic art, again, I love comic book art. I don't do comic book art because I don't enjoy doing sequential art and drawing the same thing over and over and over and over again, which you have to be able to love to do if you're going to do comic art. But I love comic art. I love the art of it. So I follow a lot of comic book artists, and one of them, and I follow campaigns. I'll support comic book artists that are doing putting out new books, and you can support them on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And so I do that as well to support, especially, and it's not just young artists, but I'm real big on supporting young creatives. Their channels. I mean, I'll go to someone's channel that I'll be the only person there while they're live streaming, or they only have 20 followers to start. I love helping new creatives and especially young creatives. you know, build their channel, build their brand, sell their books, because that's the next generation after me. You know, the next generation of creatives after me is those ones that I'm going to help support. So, you know, if you want some more art people coming up after you, oh, the troll says, yeah, I don't care about that. Okay, so let's see. So one of the ones that I'm following is um, Gary Shipman, and he's not a young creator. He's he's older, has a family, but he does this awesome um, character called Titan Mouse. So here is, like, I'll try to get a couple pictures of his campaign here. So if you go over on Indiegogo, you can find his campaign for Titan Mouse. There's his little, oops, sorry guys. There's his little character, right? I just love it. And I like Gary. Gary's a great guy. He's an awesome family man. And so this is one of the characters right here, his character in this pose. So what I'm doing, and I hesitate to show because I want to make sure I finish it. I've only spent a couple hours on it. Where's the picture of it? I know I got a picture. So I'm to help promote it, and talking about it here helps promote it too, is in my mural room, I'm adding him to my mural. So this is my mural room. I already have this big giant owl. This owl, his head is probably about as big as mine, just to give y'all a scale, because I don't have anything in here for scale. Let me turn down the light on my phone. So I'm putting Titan Mouse. So what I'm doing is I'm painting a little sign up here. The little sign's going to hang from my big sign up there. And so I'm still in progress. So he's not completely painted in yet. See, I've just got him kind of almost just outlined. So I'm adding him in my mural. And this owl, like I said, that is probably as big as my head. That's how big that owl is. It's big. My whole room is a mural room. And so I'm adding him to that. And he does have a little contest. I don't know if this really qualifies for his contest. I don't care about that. But he has a fan art contest because he's got, I think it's at I forget how many, was it 7,000? I forget how much money. No, it was more than that. But anyway, it was one of the tiers. After he passed a certain amount, then he was going to do a fan art contest. But I wanted just to do this just to, help, promote him. So anyway, I'm doing a giant mouse on my wall. And that's, I'm having him just kind of fly over. And there's going to be like a little string here. He's going to be holding on to a string. You might be able to see it slightly there. He's holding on to a little string and flying through my mural room there. So I painted him right over the top of my owl. Yeah, I've got one of the other things that I have in my mural room. I don't have a picture of it right here. I can go take a picture if you want to see it after a while. But is Barb's cat, Barb Owens' Siamese cat. I painted a huge one. It's bigger than me. The cat mural section is bigger than me. A giant Siamese cat. The owl. Well, see, but he's Titan Mouse. He's not going to get eaten by an owl. Tweet photos of your mural room. I'd love to see. I don't have any recent ones, Vonnie. And half the thing is because my mural room, it's also my guest bedroom. So a lot of it, not all of it, but sections of it are covered up with furniture and stuff. Because I've worked on that mural room off and on for 18 years. I've lived in this house 20, I think. And I started the mural, I think Cameron was 2, and he's 21, 18 or 19 years. So the room has gone through different changes as far as decorating and furniture and things like that. So different parts of it are covered up with shelves and, I try to keep as much of it uncovered as I can because I like it, I like the murals in there. I'm going to turn this over so I don't have to rest my hand on her face there. Um, but anyway, as far as streaming goes, you have to go back. I go back to it again, but it's like anything. And that's like I talk about individual art projects, abandoned, altered books, or collage, painting, color books, drawing, sketching, whatever else we do here. You have to do what you love because you won't stick with it. If you don't like to stream, I've seen a lot of streamers. They start out, and I'm not talking about different ones that have had things happen that they had to go, like Paula. She's had health issues and work issues and moving and job changes, stuff like that, where she's had to come and go. I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about people that will start streaming, and I help them. I'll tell them what kind of camera, what to set it up, how to set it up, fix their lighting, their situation, and spend a lot of time doing all that. And then they'll stream, and and that's okay because you don't really know until you do it. You can't fault people for at least trying. I don't mean that. But a lot of times they find they don't love it. They find it is a lot of work. It is time consuming. You do have to dedicate to it. You have to treat it like a job, or you're not going to, people aren't going to come watch you. They're not going to come watch you if you just pop in every now and then. Oh, really, Judy? Yeah. You won't have people come follow you if you're just there like, oh, I'll just stream whenever I feel like it, and that's okay because I do impromptus as well. But if you really want to make a go out of streaming and or a YouTube channel, because not all YouTube channels are streaming, they just record videos too, right? But if you disappear for weeks or months at a time, then people can't depend on you. They're going to say, well, all right, I'll go watch that video, but then they're not going to be there in 2 weeks, So you got to be consistent if you really want to make a go of it. And there's wet paint there. I'm not caring if it gets on the back because, it's one-sided. The marker's bleeding through anyway, so I don't worry about that. I'm just going to try to turn and stay in frame while I do it. But I love helping new people stream. I support them. Y'all know you can come in here, talk about your channel, promote other people. But we're fibs, friends in the box, and we don't mind that. But I'm just going to say this, nicely. Not everybody is like that. So if you go to some streamer, if you go to some stream that you think, because we're so nice here and giving and caring and sharing, and you go to someone's stream and you put something in caps to talk to the streamer, and they go, just don't put it in caps. Don't yell at me. Well, don't get mad at them. That's their policy. They may not want you to talk in caps. Or if you want to share somebody's channel and you'll go, oh, so-and-so streaming after you. We're not here to promote other people. You'll get that. I'm telling you. We're nice here, people. We are the nice people. So don't get offended and don't get mad if you go to someone's channel and they're not, and I'm not saying they're mean. They're just not as sharing as we are, right? They're just not as sharing as we are. Okay, Deborah, thanks for stopping in. So anyway, just be forewarned, because when you start streaming, you're going to watch other streamers. You get into the YouTube world and, you're all into the YouTube world and what other people are doing and watching. You're watching other people and not everybody is like our fibs. Just, is that a flower petal right there? I'm not sure. Is that a leaf? Oh, no, that's the behind. Okay. So you have to have a little bit of a tough skin when you stream or when you're on YouTube because you will. It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if you're going to get mean people, haters, trolls. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. So, you just don't even, you just got to go, oh, well. And I did tweet a video out by a YouTube professional that I follow that gives tips and tricks and stuff on YouTube. on how to deal with trolls and haters. I did tweet that video out on Twitter. So if you, and it's only about, well, that's 10 minutes or less. It's a quick video on how to deal with haters and trolls. So if you want to see that video, I did tweet it, or if Eileen or somebody wants to grab it off of Twitter and post it here, you can feel one of the mods want to post it here. That's fine as well. Let's see. Hi, Sandy. I know I'm missing people coming in. And also, you know, I have the best mods ever. I do have the best mods. If you do start having streaming live, you want mods. You need mods. You have to have, you don't have to, but you know, you really need mods if you stream live. So you want to pick some people, you know, and pick enough people so that they don't have to be here. You know, if Ian wants to go paint or has something to do, I don't have to depend on Ian to be here. Same thing for Picola or whatever. So have enough mods that your mods don't feel obligated to be there for you unless you're paying them something. You know, don't make your mods feel like they have to be there, right? All right, so let's see. Karen, Gail, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. I don't think I've met you before. Johnny Topside. I'll have to go check out your channel later. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I saw, and I showed it, speaking of, yeah, Janet takes them on. I don't take the time to take them on. But Janet, she'll take on trolls, and oh, I shouldn't say that. We don't want to send any her way. But like phone calls and stuff, you know, like sales calls and, you know, what do you call it? You know, those kind of calls that try to trick old people and giving them their social security number or something. You know, this area up here needs a second coat. Sometimes red, yellow, and lime green. Sometimes you'll need to put a second coat if you want it really nice and flat. I put it on pretty thick, so I don't have a lot of areas that need a little bit of oomph. But there's a couple areas here where I can see it needs a little more flattening. So, but anyway, I showed Janet, there's this comedian. I saw him on Facebook. I can't remember his name. Here, I'm not going to show you the video. Obviously, I can't show you the video because copyright and all that. But I'll tell you the name of it because I kept him in my photos, a picture of his name. And so hilarious. He messed with one of those phone solicitors. Well, actually, I think it was a wrong number. I'll tell you what it's about, though. Let me find his name. Where is he? Where are you? Maybe I should just go look in Janet's channel because I think I sent it to her. Dang, where is it? I don't hope I didn't delete it. But he was a comedian I came across on Facebook, and he said that he accidentally got a wrong number. Oh man, where is it? I can't find it. I bet I deleted the little picture I took of it because I just kept it just to show Janet. And he got a wrong number, but he rolled with it. I'll try to find it later, guys. He rolled with it. And they said, hey, Bruce. The guy answered phone. He goes, hey, Bruce. And the guy was in his car, I guess, driving or something. He just felt like, and I'm going to do the red background on this one too. I'm going to go ahead and paint around the flowers while I'm telling this story. And so he just felt like rolling with the story or rolling with the phone call. And this is something Janet would do. That's why I wanted Janet to see the comedian. Let me look on Janet where I've messaged it to her. I think I just messaged it to Janet, so I'll have it still there. Because I want y'all to go find him if you can, because he's hilarious. Okay. His name is Jay Larson. So if you look him up, Jay Larson, and the title of the video is Wrong Number Prank Goes Too Far. Wrong Number Prank Goes Too Far, Jay Larson on Facebook. And so the guy goes, hey, what's this about? And I'm not going to tell it near as well as him, right? What's this about raising the budget or lowering the budget from 15,000 to 10,000? And the guy just assumed he was talking to someone named Bruce. And he goes, I don't know, man. What's with that? What happened there? And he just went with it. He rolled with the conversation. You got to go listen to it because I'm not a comedian and I can't tell it like he did. But Jay Larson, oh my God, it's so funny. But anyway, because Janet, oh baby, don't step on that wet paint. Janet will do that kind of thing. Janet can take one of those phone calls and she'll roll with it. Like I think she told the story, Janet. I'll tell Janet's story. I can tell Janet's story about someone that called wanting to sell her some kind of timeshare or something like that, or wanted her social security number. And these are probably two separate calls. Wanted her social security number, and Janet goes, "Which one? Which social security number do you want? I got a lot of them, or I got 5, or something like that." And she eggs them on. It's so funny. Janet can do that so well. And then there was one on timeshare, and Janet was going, I don't know. My lawyer said with my tax situation, I can't do any timeshares or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Janet's a hoot with those phone calls, those solicitors. You'll have to get her next time y'all are on Janet's show. Get her to tell you some more of those stories because she'll tell them again. She'll retell them. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Eileen found the video. There's a video of Jay Larson. I said, yeah. Janet is a hoot, isn't she, Pacola? And so she'll lead those callers on. Now I'm tickled about that. So I really want to get her, like especially around her skin, so you can see how pretty this red's going to look on a background. I don't know that I need to do the whole background right now because I really want to do their hair and their eyes in the next hour. But I like to do some of the background because we usually don't get to the background a lot of times. And I do have to show you that poster too. What is it, pretty little girl? What is it? Don't step on my, oh, no, can't step on my wet paint. Can't step on the wet paint. You want to talk to me? You want something? You want to talk? Little baby girl, so precious. Okay, let's get in here next to her skin so you can see how pretty this red is going to look. Janice, me. Hi, Mary Beth. Thank you, Christine. Thanks, Judy. Yeah, I know, Vonnie. Oliver doesn't talk really. She does. She'll talk. If I walk by her and they both love to be brushed. They love their cat brush, and they both love to be brushed. If I walk up to her with the brush, she does that. She'll start talking. She loves her brush. They both do, but she'll talk. She'll talk to get brushed. Oliver, not so much. See how pretty that red looks up against her skin? Bye, Gary's, change your name. Bye, Gary. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I'm using no water in the paint. So if you want it nice and thick, so it'll be a flat color. So no water in it. No water in your brush. Make sure if you wash your brush out, see it's starting to get a little crusty. Starting to get a little crusty there, drying on the end. You want to clean it off. Make sure you sop out all the water on a paper towel because otherwise you're going to water down your paint and it'll be thinned out and it won't be a flat coverage. And like I said, you could do this with the marker, but I can do it faster painting it. And then I'm not having to keep, getting, filling in so there's no lines with the marker. Just painting it, I can do it much faster and also just as flat as a marker. So let's see. Back to we were talking about streaming. So and I'm sorry again on the person that was new to streaming. Can you say something again? because I was talking to the new streamers. Hi, Devin. Hi, Jennifer. I think I said hi, Jennifer D earlier. Hi, Lisbeth. What paint am I using, Kelly? I'm using Americana, Deco Art Americana craft paint, and it's flat. Americana also has satin. They have gloss. They have metallics. And it doesn't say matte on here, but it won't say gloss or satin. It's just flat matte craft paint. Yeah. Did y'all go watch that video? I know y'all did. I know y'all snuck over there to watch that video. I don't care. Give me a thumbs up before you go. I Dot. Oh my gosh. But you have to, when I first started streaming, I watched the first person I watched was Artistic Biker Blade. It was the first streamer I watched, and that was on Ustream. I started over on Ustream. I streamed over there for I've been streaming for 9 years, and only about 5 or 6 years have I been over here on YouTube. Before that, it was all on Ustream. And that's where I found Artistic Biker, Paula, I Carry Love. Those were the first streamers I watched. And then that's where I met Julie Topaz, who's one of my mods, Topaz Pearl Girl. That's where I met. So Julie's probably, of all the people here, is probably the person I've known I know it's the person I've known the longest in streaming. Hi, Rachel's Color and Explorations, lurking and working. That's fine. We love our lurkers. I lurk when I'm at other people's streams too, so that I can get stuff done. I hear you, but I do try to give people thumbs up. If I don't chat, I at least if I'm watching them, I give them a thumbs up. And I never give thumbs down. If I don't like somebody's show, I just leave. I don't thumbs down anybody. Now, that being said, I love saying that. I did do it accidentally. I think I accidentally did it to, well, I won't say who, but I accidentally gave a thumbs down to somebody one time, and I'm like, oh no, I think I accidentally thumbs down them instead of thumbs up, because I wasn't paying a lot of it. I was doing something else. So I went back and took the thumbs down off and put it on thumbs up. But I've accidentally thumbs down 1 or 2 times, but I never purposely thumbs down people. Like, why do that? If you don't like someone's channel, there's a million other ones to go to. You don't, just move on. Move along. Nothing to see here. But anyway, when I first started streaming, my first stream, I had 2 friends, 2 people that knew me online that were going to be there. So I started with 2 streamers. Yeah, we go way, Julie Topaz and I go way back. So, but I had 2 streamers, and it wasn't anybody that's even online anymore, or I should say they may be online, but they're not, like, I don't know them on YouTube or anything anymore. But, and the first time I streamed, I did ATC, artist trading cards, and I did it with spackle. I added spackle edges, so I was using spackle on artist trading cards for borders. That was the very first stream I ever did. Now, all those streams, those first few years on Ustream, I did try to save as many as I could. When Ustream said, we're not going to save your videos anymore, so if you want to save them, well, very minimal. They save some minimally. If you want to save your videos, you better start downloading them, because we're going to get rid of all the excess videos. So this was years ago, guys, on Ustream. Ustreamers, I don't even know if Ustream, your non-business people, even stream anymore on Ustream, because they went like all IBM on us. And but anyway, we all were scrambling to download any videos we wanted to save. And so I bought an external hard drive of saving them all. Now, all those first few years of videos, I saved a lot of them. But yeah, I wouldn't probably never even go back. Now the videos here on YouTube, I'm gonna turn her upside down so I can get in these little, not have to back the camera up. Oh, did I just? No, that's part of it. Um, I do save my favorite, like my collage videos. I save my collage, my poster. I save I've saved quite a few of my color book pages, videos, I should say. I saved quite a few. I do download and save quite a few of my videos, and I need to put them on a external hard drive as well. But right now they're just on my laptop, and that can go anytime. My lighted, or is that lit, keyboard went out, so now I can't see my. I hardly can function without a lighted keyboard, but it went out. So I got to think, you just never know. You better do something about saving those if you want to keep them, or I'd have to re-download them all again, which I don't really want to do. But I saved quite a few. Dot said I drifted over to Ustream from CompuServe, then over to here. Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody ever gone back over to Ustream to see what's going on over there? And then there's also Twitch. Twitch is more. It started. I think it just started as a gamer channel and evolved into some art streaming. But it's really mostly a gamer stream function. But there is a lot of art over there too. I just don't have time to be involved in YouTube and Twitch. I just don't have time. I barely have time to do streaming myself here and uh, my own projects. So, but there are some good artists over on Twitch. Hi, Sherry Bug. Streams. Let's see who else. You hadn't gone back over there, Colleen? Yeah, me either. So eventually, what happened was Ustream went business. They wanted everybody, so you had to pay. And I think it was by how many people you had. And I think I figured out if I was going to stream, it was going to cost me $100. Was it a week? Was it a week? I think it was $100 a week. I said, no. So, and that's true of all of us that were started over on Ustream. So we all left and came over here. I did upload. After I'd stream on Ustream, I'd upload them to YouTube, and I did that for. I kind of went over that flower. Kind of got a little out of line there. I'll have to go back over that with the Posca because I want to keep that point on that flower. Bonnie said I use Twitch for World of Warcraft curse mods merged with Twitch. Ian said just waiting for the. No, I don't think so. They make too much money. They make too much money to just go like. Are you just saying they're going to go like all business or something? Ian, I don't see that happening. See, Ustream was already a business channel. Streaming, they would do businesses, like business meetings and that kind of thing. And people would pay, businesses will pay for that, But it ran off all the creatives because the creatives didn't make enough money doing any of that to pay Ustream. But YouTube is got so much. They make their money off of us. They're not making their money off of business meetings. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Dot. Thank you for the 10 pounds. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll add you to my list for next month to send you. I know I just sent you something, but I'll add you to the list to send you something next month. The reason I wanted to do this background was to do her, right up next to her skin so you can see how pretty the red would look right next to her skin. But my brush, see how that's getting all crusty? See, I need to clean that off. Oh, I'm sitting on my foot. Oh. Okay, let me clean it. And I want to dry it. I have paper towels under my bucket of water. I have paper towels, so I just clean the brush off and then just damp it off on the paper towels. And then I have baby wipes sitting next to me too. Eastern Channel are still there, but only if you know the URL. Okay, so it's like it's a business thing. They went all business, right? Thank you so much, Dot. That's sweet. Help the postage. Yeah, it does. I appreciate y'all guys when you super chat me or PayPal tip jar me. I appreciate that. It does help with postage. And I still, and guys, again, I have to quit doing international books and things because it's too got ridiculous. When those composition books were going to cost me $25 for a $1 composition book, I said I can't do it. It's just not. It's just wasting money to do that. So if I'm still going to do my giveaways and my book giveaways, and if you're international, you can still be in the giveaways, but instead of giving a book or whatever the thing is I'm giving away, I'll send you an envelope of my art or art cards or something. So I'll send you personal art instead of, which a lot of people go, I'd rather have that anyway. Because I don't mind sending, a couple of dollars for an envelope, but I just feel totally wrong about sending a $1 composition book for $25. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, I don't worry. I'm not worried about it. I just want people to understand or to know. I just want people to know that that's what the deal is now. So I love everybody international watchers and appreciate y'all more than you know. But I can't afford to send books to you when it's $25 for just a flat composition book. I was blown away. I really was when I went to ship those. Um, well, the thing about Ian's talking about ad blocker. What you do when you ad block, you're taking my money away. That's how I make money on YouTube is ads. And if you block the ads, then you're taking money away from me or whatever person you're watching. So if you want to support a channel, don't ad block because that's how we make money off the ads. uh, yeah, and PayPal, I get they take a fee too, but they take less of a fee than Super Chat. But I'm talking about ad blockers. When you ad block, you block the views on my channel. You not for everybody, just for yourself. But it takes, oh, thanks, Kenny. That's how we make money on YouTube is from ads. Well, it's not, we have super chat and stuff too, but I'm just saying. I think that's why they did super chat. Anyway. And it makes them money too. YouTube, or I should say Google. Anyway, I just went ahead and just said, well, I might as well finish it since I'm on a roll here. I was getting 10 to 20 minute adverts for 5-minute videos. Oh, that's a lot, Ian. I don't know why you were getting that many. I never get that many. I'll usually get an ad, and of course it depends on who it is too. I mean, PewDiePie might have 50 ads. I don't know. But the people I watch, there's usually a video. I mean, there's usually an ad at the beginning that may be 2 minutes, and then maybe 1 or 2 during during the whole recorded stream. You don't get a lot. I mean, I don't get a lot of ads. I mean, and I'll watch I'll watch 1 or 2 ads. I don't mind. But that's a lot, Ian. I hadn't heard of anybody getting that many. I'm almost done with the background, guys. All right, just a few little places right in. I got to be careful where I set my hand because there's still some wet areas. Here, let me come down here. And, one of the benefits of marker is if you don't paint a lot or you're not used to painting with a paintbrush in tight areas, the point of a marker, it's easier to get into these little places like this with a marker if you're not used to painting with a brush. So that is another benefit of the marker on a background like this. Okay, let's see right here. Got one more spot. And when you pick up paint, always get in the habit of rolling your brush, unless you're going to do something really flat with a flat brush or something. But if you just got a round brush, roll your brush in the paint. Just when you pick up the paint, roll it, and it covers all the bristles and it makes a point. So just roll. And I do the same thing when I'm inking. When I'm using ink with the brush, I roll the brush in the ink. It makes a point, automatically makes a point, and fills the whole brush. Okay, let's see. Do I get everything? I think that's a leaf back there. Okay, let me clean the brush. And then always roll your brush off when you dry it, roll it. And then if they start getting real frayed, you can roll it on a bar of soap. And I know there's specialty soaps, and if you're using oil painting and expensive, if your brush costs you $50, you're going to use the right kind of soaps and all. But mine are just cheap craft brushes for the most part. You roll them on a bar of soap and reshape them while they're wet. Okay, so let's see. Let me hit them both with the. Thank you, Picola. Let me hit them both with the heat gun to make sure I got all the paint dry. Oh, see, I didn't finish this one. Should I go? Let me go ahead, guys. Let me go ahead and finish. Now it's gonna bug me that I got the other one done and not this one. So let's just go ahead and finish. I'll try to be quick, and we'll go back to the marker on their hair and their eyes. But I wanted just y'all to see how a nice red background could look so pretty with their skin. Oh, am I on camera? So thanks for the thumbs up, guys. And if you want to promote your channels, just your being here, people can see that, when you talk about your channel, anybody can just go to the three dots at the end of the name and follow people and go watch them. And, I don't get to watch many people live, but I do try to get around to y'all's recordings. And if there's anything y'all like to see more than others, I mean, I know, some people like the color booking, some people like the collage. Different, some people like the drawing and sketching. So if you have a preference of things, let me know. Our art journaling, I try to do some of those things that we don't do often, but I try to do them occasionally. For people that like it, because we do a little bit of everything here. Because here's my theory, or here's my philosophy, here's my streaming philosophy, is I like to encourage people to try something. Everybody's creative at something. And if you like any kind of art, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? If you didn't like some type of art, painting, drawing, something, art journaling, So I like to do a little bit of all of it so that people can find things they like. Because that's just important to me, and especially the next generation. you know? Yeah. Kathy Berg streams Tuesdays with Colleen at 10:30 Tuesday. And then on Colleen's channel on Friday, they both stream together at 10:30 on Friday morning. You like when I do my own art? Yeah. I do too. I love sketching and drawing. That's like one of my favorite things, other than collage. Dot. I love collage, and then I love building collage worlds. And the other thing is my own sketching and drawing. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Most people don't enjoy that as much to watch as I do color booking, collage, altered books, art journal. They enjoy watching that more because you can tell by the views. Thank you, Artful Dabbler, for the 5. Is that pounds? Is E a pound? Thanks for the wonderful advice. You inspire me. Well, thank you. Here's my email. Make sure you email me so I can add you on my happy mail. There's my email. I think I put it in right. So email me your address if you want some happy mail. You don't have to. Nobody has to get happy mail from me. But if you want some, and let's see. E is a euro. Okay, thanks, Christine. I wasn't sure if it was a euro because in the pound is the little L. The little, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so do I have all the flowers done? Okay, baby, you can't step on my paint. You stay on that side. Stay on that side. All right. Let's see. I think it looks pretty dry. I don't see any. I think it's pretty dry. Okay. Can I put this red paint away? Can I put that red paint away? Not going to let me? Oh, let's put it over here. All right. So again, here's another one of the pieces that we've done with marker. Oh, I don't mind sending a happy mail envelope. So I never mind sending that, guys. I don't ever want y'all to get the impression that I don't like sending. I can at least send you a little art card or something, right? I don't mind doing that. I do that every month. I have probably 25 or 30 envelopes that I send out. So, oh, thank you, Ian. All right, so let me back out a little bit here so we can take a view of how it's looking, not so close up. Okay, so I think they're looking pretty. And again, I'm going to probably do her the same way the flowers, yellow flowers. Like, I'm not sure if this is a water lily or something, but I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to do the flowers yellow and white. And I'm not sure about their clothes. I'm not going to do all the flowers right now. I just kind of want you to see that I want yellow in them. And the same thing, the little stamens, I'll probably do some kind of orange. Now let's see about their hair and their eyes and their lips. Do I want her to be blonde, green-eyed? I had thought about having her have red hair, but since I did a red background. Okay, let's just do her with some nice bright yellow and shaded hair. This one. Okay, let's go and zoom back in. I just want y'all to see what it looked like kind of. Okay. So if she had, I'm just going to color her whole hair yellow as a base. And then just kind of like I did her face, just do the base. And I think I'll put a pencil, because this is acrylic paint now behind her, I can put a nice halo around her. Well, both of them actually, because they're both painted. So let's just give her blonde hair. So I'm just going to start with a base. If my marker doesn't run out. Some of them I do need some refills. The ones I use more often. I don't know what the next shade of yellow is that I have in Copics. That's actually probably supposed to be her skin right there. Okay, so let's see. Do I have another shade of yellow that's dark, the next shade up in yellow, or do I need to use one of my other brands? Let's see. I'm looking at them. What is it, baby girl? Just sitting here staring at me. Just sitting here staring at me. Let's see what about this one. This is a hoo-hoo. Let's see what color this is going to be. Oh, good. That's a good color. It's kind of like an ochre color. But now there's no brush on this one. Okay. So it's got the bullet tip. But what I'll do is I'll use that to do the shading. And then go in and blend. Blend with the yellow. Copic. Am I staying in camera? Yeah. I'm just going to take the lids off because it bugs me having to keep taking them off and on. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. And I think these little stamens could be this color too. They'll kind of tie it in together. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? You could make her eyes a golden color. Just because it's fantasy, we can make them any color we want. I've had done purple eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. All right, let's see. Am I staying in there? So I'm gonna. And again, this is not a brush, it's a bullet tip, so I'm having to kind of have a light touch. Okay, while it's wet, I'll go in here and do a little bit of blending. We're still with the tour. Violet eyes. We could do violet. We could do violet eyes on both of them. That might be pretty. So, you got your grayscale color book, so you can follow, you know where to shade. if you had doubts as to where to shade. But while it's wet is when you want to blend. Otherwise, you just have to re-wet it again. And then I just got to be kind of flick easily, lightly, I should say, because this is not a brush tip. So just kind of flick. Again, while it's wet. So I hope y'all are enjoying doing a marker page, well, with a little bit of paint. So again, make sure and leave in the comments what kind of videos y'all like to see the most. Because I do my own art myself, guys. I mean, when I'm not on camera. So it's not like the only time I can do my art is when I'm here. I mean, I have my favorites. Like I said, I love my collage and sketching and drawing, especially animals. I love drawing animals. But when I'm making the videos for y'all, I want something that's going to help you guys too. Oh, good. That's good to know, Jersey. I hope so. Thank you for that. And again, every time you go over it, once it dries, every time you go back over it, it's another shade you're laying. You're throwing shade. And it is, if it gets up over into the 30s, I'll get my walk in. I did walk yesterday, even though I think it did get up to 32 or something. When it's in the 20s, I'd hate to fall down and, freeze to death or something. So if it's in the 20s, I probably won't walk. It was 26 earlier. But I try to get in my walk every day. Okay, so there we go. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to show you. Now it does have to be dry. I'll do a couple of white flowy hairs, and also I want to show you how to do like a glow around her with pencil. And the reason I can do that, I can put pencil over marker, but to get that soft aura look, it works better on pencil. I mean, on acrylic paint. Let me dry this real quick, guys. Okay, so there's a couple things. Like, let me get a white pencil here. I did buy me a couple new white pencils. They were getting a little low. Let's move the red paint so the cats don't step in it. Let me sharpen. Let me get my little thing of sharpeners. I love when you do color books, but also your work in abandoned places. Yeah, I love doing my altered abandoned places and collaging. I love collage, but I love color pencils too. So I I like a lot of it, So sometimes it's hard to decide what to do because it's like, well, I could do, Sometimes I'll tell Hubster, so I'm not sure what I want to do. What I want to do tomorrow. He'll go, well, everybody always likes color books, and he's right. So I can do a soft, like, aura around her, and her hair can be very flowy and soft. And you can add, don't, just because it ends there doesn't mean you can't add more to it. So if you want to add a glow around her, you can do that with pencil. And this works because that's acrylic paint. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just showing you some options here. And then just soften it out. See how it can give her a glow, like an aura? But I want to show you how to do individual little hairs, which I know I always show it, but so I can keep going around her all the way around. You can go on her body, you can go around all around her, can go all around every part of her if you want. But just want to kind of show you how it works on top of the acrylic paint. It's because you show us what's possible in color. Oh, well, good, Christine. Thank you. And make sure C.L. Aldridge, Christine, sells her books on Amazon as well. I inspire you with color books? Good. Because here's the thing, and I know some people go, well, that's not real art. Why didn't you have color books? What a waste. Yeah. Well, yeah, all you want. Because I can tell you what color books do. It tells you how to shade, blend, color theory. It teaches you a lot of stuff. If you don't consider yourself an artist and you want to do something creative and you want to learn about color and blending and pencils or markers or paint, oh my, you can learn it with a color book. You can learn so much with color books. So don't let anybody tell you. Oh, and speaking of, let's do some eyebrows. Let's put some blonde eyebrows with a little bit of shading, just a little bit there. Y'all know I like thicker eyebrows. And if this was pencil, well, I guess I could maybe get it in there with this. If I did it with pencil, I could get in there and get individual little hairs. I always like to thicken up the eyebrows. I don't know why. I just like them a little thicker. I just do that. You like my pencil streams and sketch giveaways for fibs? Yeah, I like doing those too. They're fun. Okay, so let's see. Let me do a couple of the hairs. Now, what I use for that is Posca paint pen, white Posca. And you can add individual little hairs. Let's get this. Let's make sure this one's working here. This one may be older. I just have so many sitting around. Sometimes I grab one that's not working very well. Let's test this one. Okay, this one's working better. So you can add little individual little hairs, little highlighted hairs. And what you do is you cross over in some place, like you might add a few just normal ones, but you cross over. See, go across the grain, so to speak. You can add them in and then go right off the edge. And then it looks like she has these little flyaway hairs. And sometimes I'll even put one down in her face, but you don't want to do that till after you've finished all the skin, all the details, eyes, everything, because you don't want to have to try to draw or paint or marker around one little individual strand of hair. So you could have a couple like just loose hairs may have come out of her braid. See? Just have a few little floaty flyaway hairs. Now, when you do this, can you show us realistically color balloon in color pencil? Yeah, not today though, KP. I don't have time to start another project, but yeah. And I do have a couple of books that I've worked out of by different artists that do color book. KP, do you know about those books? The ones where they show you how to do special effects? I think one of them is actually called Special Effects in Color Pencil. Have you seen those, KP? If not, I'll show you those books. So it doesn't have to be white. So like, let's just say you have black hair, dark hair. Okay, but have you seen those books? the special effects coloring books, or how to color special effects with color pencils, because those are very, very good. And I've worked out of those. I've done a few projects out of them. And I could do some more projects out of those. If y'all like that, if you like doing those special effects, not the one with the balloon in it. Okay. Um, those are excellent. So here's one of the things, well, a couple things. If you want extra highlights like in blonde hair, you can go in here and add extra light and just kind of run your finger over it, and it'll give you some extra little highlights. But what I really want to show you here is, because you put white on there doesn't mean it has to stay white. You can go over that. Now, you want to be careful when you're going over pencil paints and things with your Copics, because you don't want to ruin your Copics. Copics, they're alcohol markers. They can be kind of finicky. You don't want to ruin the tips of them or dry up. You don't want to dry up the tips, so you want to be careful with that. So you want to definitely make sure, if you go over it with Copics over this, that this is 100% dry. Don't pick up this acrylic paint. Don't pick up acrylic paint on your Copic markers that you spend $7 or $8 on, right? If you're worried about that, then do it with pencil. So any place that you're adding these whiter highlights with paint, go in there with pencil over the top to turn it back to yellow. So if you have these nice bright highlights, now on blonde hair, it's okay. But if you don't want them to be white highlights, like these little individual hairs or something on a brunette, then what you do is you go over those after the paint's dry, go back over that. Now let me see here with my Copic. I'll just do a little area there. I don't want to, you want to make sure it's dry, but you can go over the white and turn it back yellow. It's still going to be brighter. It's still going to be brighter than it was, but it won't be pure white. Can y'all kind of see that, how it turned it back a little bit of yellow? Or take a pencil and do the same thing. Take a pencil and on the white hairs, go over it with yellow. And it may not show up on camera. I'll try to hold it up. But what you're doing is you're brightening it up. You're brightening up the hair or the individual strands or areas with the white Posca, but you don't have to leave it white. I'm going to try to find all the white hairs here. And so they'll still be bright and they'll still stand out because you've based them with white. But I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they're yellow. Well, except for where I went over with the glow. Not that area, but the white individual hairs. Can y'all see that it's yellow? I hope. Down here a little bit. So I'm never afraid to mix media things. The only thing you want to be careful of is using your Copics over different mediums that are not Copic friendly. You don't want to ruin your Copics is what I'm saying. What size brush are you using? You mean when I was painting? When I was painting the background? It's a number 2. Is this the one I was using? I think so. I think this was a number 2. A number 2. Let me get it wet so you can see the point. It's a number 2 round. But again, that's something that my favorite brushes are flat angle brushes, little ones, especially. But here's an angle one that's bigger. This is like what an angle brush is. The thing about an angle brush is they're so versatile. You can get a nice flat area. You can draw a line with it, and you also have a point on it. These are my favorite brushes, and you have to have little ones to do something like we did here. Here's another smaller one, but you need really tiny ones. Let's see. Let me go back into here, see if I can find a tiny angle. Well, it would be this is not an angle one, but you can see how small that is. That's a flat, but angle brushes are, here's one. See how tiny that is? These are excellent for a background like I just did. It just so happened I picked this one out easy, just grabbed it. Okay, let's see. I guess Ian's still explaining how the dollar sign, the pound sign, and the euro sign came about because he's putting it in caps. I love you, Ian. Okay, so let's see. So now again, when I do eyes, and here's the blue eyes that we did on this other one here. Okay, you can put a base with the marker, but this is so tiny. And this is just me. When you have little tiny areas, or when I want to shade, put some blue shadows, like, let's see, let me get a pointer. Let me get something to point with. Let's get a brush. See how you may or may not see the blue shadow in her eyes? See that slate blue shadow? I'm not going to mess with that with marker. That's just me. I'm not that proficient at it and blending that tiny, tiny little bit. I can so do that work with a pencil so much better. So I could say, if did somebody say lavender eyes? So I could get a nice, let's do a test because I'm not sure what color of purple this is going to be. We could start with the base of purple, and that's really, really light. Let's see, do I have one up from that color? What color is this? And that's even lighter. Let's see what color this one is. This one might be too blue. That's too dark. Okay, so I'm going to just I'll put a base coat of this light lavender. This is BV000. I'll put in, that's blue violet. For those that know Copic number systems, BV is blue violet. Whoops, wrong end. So I'm going to go ahead and do both their eyes lavender. So I'm just going to put a base coat of lavender. The other thing with with Colorbook pages, is when you want something like their irises, you want their irises to be, maybe they should have purple makeup too. Should I make them have purple lipstick? Purple lipstick, purple beads, purple. Maybe we're going to go with, well, that may be too much with the red. But I was going to say I could do purple. Let's go ahead and do purple lips. I'm just, because I don't have a lot of time left, let's just go ahead and roll with purple makeup. So when you do Colorbook pages, now I'm going to do the rest with pencil. I'm going to do the shading with pencil. I haven't done her hair yet either. Is I use a Sharpie pen, not a marker. You could use a marker in a case like this, because it doesn't matter if it goes through, because it already goes through anyway. But for the most part, I'll use a Sharpie pen for this step, for these details. So like the pupils, the eyeliner, eyelashes, you need to go back over that, because very rarely, I'm going to do one eye just so you can see the difference. Very rarely in the printing of the Colorbook pages is the black ink from the printing of the pages pure black. And it's going to look kind of dull if you want something very black, like their makeup or their pupils. So let me do her pupil here, her eyeliner, and her eyelashes. So now look at the difference on the color. See? And I did make her eyelashes a little longer, but you see how that black pupil is so much blacker than that one? Hopefully you can see the difference. So in a Colorbook page, anything that you want really truly black, like the iris, or makeup, eyeliner, eyelashes, you want to go over them. Now don't do this if you haven't finished coloring the skin, because then you're going to have to try to color around the eyelashes or do the eyelashes again. Okay. Same thing like the little nostrils, or under the corners of their mouths, or sometimes in the lips themselves. Anything you want really dark, dark black, you want to go over it with You want to go over it with a pen to make it really dark black. The eyeline, and I always add a little extra lashes and, a little extra makeup. But it's more about the darkness, the blackness of the marker than it is anything else. Let's give her a couple lower lashes. I don't know if she has many. I'm going to give her a couple extra. Okay. I don't know if she's got her mouth a little open and that's supposed to be her teeth. I'm not sure what uh, the artist was thinking. All right. Now, for the eyes, because I already got a little base, and the lips, a little color on them, I'm going to get my pencils here. And let's see how purple do we want. We might want some real dark purple and some lighter lavender. I want this color and that color. I think those two colors will probably be good. Maybe you could even go a little lighter. That's going to look too gray. That purple already looks too gray. So I'm going to go with those two. White. I'm going to have to sharpen them. And maybe a little bit darker black grape in the lips. So we'll go with these. All right, baby, you're going to have to move now. Okay, so let me sharpen these. He's up in my Ian light diffuser. Can you hear the my light diffuser? He's up under that, which is an embroidery hoop with the light, with a piece of tracing paper. Okay, so I'm just sharpening my pencils here because it's small area. What is it, baby? You're saying, it's time for lunch, Mama. You can wait a few more minutes. It's going to sit right there. Don't get over by my cords. No, you can't get by the cords. He loves those cords. Just kidding. Don't know what it is about the cords, but he loves cords. Okay, going to have to get down. All right, going to have to get down. All right, get in. Okay, so let's do, and I also want a little bit of my slate blue for shadowing. This is blue violet. I don't want that blue slate. Slate blue. I think this is it. Yeah. I love blue slate for shadows. Okay, we still with the tour? All right. Ian's still giving y'all a history lesson on money. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go in with the darkest purple, which is black grape. And I want to put the shadow of that color even a little bit up in the eye. Oh, let me see. Let me zoom in a little more. I'll try, guys. Okay. All right. So I want some of that purple in the pupil itself and around a little bit on the edges and right above. Now, if I didn't put the purple there, I'd be putting some slate blue right above. Okay. Now, they're very small, so you don't have a lot of real estate to play with there. These eyelashes need to be a little longer just because the other side is. So let's make a couple longer ones. The cords look like mouse tails. Maybe that might be it. That could very well be it. All right, so now I'm going to take my blue slate. Actually, I think I want, her eyes are pretty white. Hers have a little bit extra, what do you call it, grayscale in it. And I think I want her, what am I doing with this John Monaghan one? I want this. I want her, the white part of her eyes to be a little whiter because I'm going to go put some blue in there. So I'm going to put my own little bit of paint in there and make them just a little bit whiter. So when I go over it, I'm going to darken it down with paint, with a, what do you call it, a pencil, but they're kind of too gray. It's too much gray in there. All right. So while that let that dry for a minute, let's come over to hers. And again, with the whoops, there's something on there. I think I got something on her face there. I'm gonna go in here and do the same thing since they're gonna have the same color eyes. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the purple just to give it. It's just kind of like if you had purple eyes, you'd wear purple eyeshadow to make them stand out. Well, not necessarily all the time, but you know what I mean. You could accent your makeup depending on your eye color. Okay, and now I'm going to take the blue slate and put some shadow right under the eyelash. Very subtly. Very subtly. You see? All right, so now I'm going to take the next dark purple, which is violet, and I'm going to go in her pupil here and put some little lines, a couple like little iris, not her pupil, her iris. Okay. And then I'm also going to go in there with white. And if the white pencil is not enough to blend, I'm trying to blend it in, but if it's not bright enough, then go in there with some Posca. Okay, like for instance, the dot in her eye, the highlight. I go in there with just a dot of Posca. And sometimes I like to add extra highlight. Like you can put a little extra light in there. Okay. See how that made it stand out? Judy, I got my happy mail. Thank you, Rich. Oh, you're welcome, Bonnie. You're welcome. All right, now we're going to wait on her lips. We're going to go back over to this girl, and we're going to do the same thing with her eyes. So I'm going to take the violet, and I'm going to put some of that color in there. And then some white. Got a little bit up into her iris there. I might have to go back with the black. Upstairs home. I'm going to have to go open the door, I think. Okay, now I'm going to go back in here with the Posca with a little extra sparkle. Okay, and then, I have the front door locked, so he'll have a key. And a little bit of shadow. And then maybe even just a touch bit, either with the pencil or with the Posca. Hey, honey. Okay. In the corner of the eye here. And then also a little bit of white right around the corner of the eye. Have y'all seen the girls wear their makeup like that these days? That does give them a more youthful look. And so if you ever want to make your eyes a little bit more sparkly with your makeup, I can't remember if you said you like gouache or not. I do. I use a little bit of gouache here and there. Again, it's not what I'm proficient in, but I'll use it a little bit. Just like watercolor. I don't use watercolor that much either. But if you put that white in the around your eyes in your makeup, it makes your eyes look more youthful. Just saying, it gives them a sparkle. All right, so there we got their purple eyes. Okay. And if I was going to do more pencil, like for instance on her up here, I'd take a henna color or something. That's going to be too dark. Lighter. And lighten up some of it. I don't want her to look like she has bags under her eyes, right, from the marker. I might have made them a little too liney under there. So, all right. Again, let's see. Where's my black? All right. So anything that's black, like real dark, you want the black ink. This one's not as dark, is pretty good as far as the black ink goes, But a lot of a lot of color book pages are not real dark black ink, which can be good when you don't want to outline around their face or something. It can be good not to have the dark black, but in irises, nostrils, in the inside of the mouth or something like that, you might want it to be really dark black. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, Danny. I think I follow you on Instagram, don't I? Don't you do have makeup things on Instagram? So, okay, so let's do their lips real quick, and then I'm going to head out. So I'm going to take the violet, and I'm going to get darker. So if you do makeup, you probably do you color book. I don't remember, Danny. Then you probably do really well with color books, and if you do makeup. You dabble? Okay. All right, now I'm doing both at the same time. All right, so now her lips, I'm gonna do the same thing. The areas that I want darker purple. And again, we're working with just monotone colors, purple eyes, purple lips. I could do her hair purple too. That would be pretty. And then I'm gonna go in here with white. Let's give her a little bit of highlight in her lips here. And there's already purple there, so it's really just kind of blending it. And I might go back with the darker color, the grape. Again, I don't know if that's supposed to be her teeth, so if they are, they need to be white. Okay, so just do a little more shading here. Hub's just heating up some meatloaf that's left over. He loves my meatloaf, so that's what I made yesterday. Okay. And then again, some white. All right. Let's go back with the lavender and just kind of feather that in a little bit more. No, it's not so harsh. All right. All right, so I think other than doing her hair, which we said we could do purple, let's see, let's take a minute. So I do have a couple colors of purple that I could do in her hair. So I'm gonna base it all in with this marker, lavender. And this one's one of those colors that I need to refill. Okay, now let's get that other purple that I had. Was it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah. And do some little shading flicks. So thanks everybody for hanging out today and doing some marker play in color books. I'll back out. I want to show you that poster. So hang on just a minute and I'll show you that big poster I'm working on, the Nick Filbert poster. Do a little flicking. To get as dark as you want. Make sure you keep highlights. Okay, let's back out. Don't burn meatloaf. I missed the meatloaf comment, Ian. All right, so let's back out. A little more. All right, so I'll show you the pictures and I'll back all the way out so I can show you that poster because it's big. All right, so again, if you missed what we're coloring in, and I'll finish these up and post all these pictures on Instagram and Twitter. So Flowers and Gems, Grazia Salvo. This is the book, and look on it on Etsy. It is spiral bound. The pages are perforated, so you can tear. You don't have to tear it out of the ring, but I don't like little leftover pieces of paper in there, so I take the whole thing out and then trim off the perforation. And so we had previously done this page. I just bent it. I'd previously colored this page and made her vampire fangs. She didn't have the vampire fangs. But anyway, so we did these two pages out of it. Again, we didn't get to the clothes and we didn't finish the background, but you can see how far we did get with the skin and the alcohol markers. So, yeah, it's fun. So, yeah, and a little bit of pencil. We do a little bit of everything. Oh, and again, if you want, you can add a glow around her as well. I don't really want to do it yet because I haven't got the flowers done. Here, I was able to do it across the top of her head because there was nothing there. But you can add that little glow around them. And, you can add a little bit on the hair just to make it glow a little more. Okay, so let me show you the big poster I'm working on. Let me back all the way out. Okay. Straighten up the camera a little bit. Okay. So the poster that I'm working on, the Nick Filbert, and I know that's his, I think, Indian name. I can't pronounce it. But he goes by Nick Filbert. Okay. So this is a big poster, and Miss Melody sent this to me. And a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4, I don't even remember how many years ago she sent this to me. And it's a huge poster. And I've done this. The base of it is done with markers, alcohol markers. And then I'm shading with the pencil on top of the marker. So the marker is all done. And I'm working on finishing the shading. Okay. So here we go. So as you can see, not all of it is shaded. So like for instance, here's a flower that's done and shaded. Now I need to probably turn down the light. Not too much. I'll turn the light down just a little to get it correct. There we go. There's better color. I've got shading done in here, shading done in here. All this is kind of done. But as you can see up here, the shading is not done. See, those flowers are not shaded yet. This is like how it's shaded here. And this piece is, let me just get a ruler here. About how big it is. It might say on the thing. It might say on the book. Let's see. It's because the book folds up. No, I don't see it. So anyway, it's 18, 20, 22. It's about 24 by 18. 30 maybe? Like 30? Something like that. It fills up the whole screen, doesn't it? So anyway, I still have more to do on it. I got their faces, pretty well shaded there. and their skin. It's going there. But you can see I'm kind of working this way. Okay, the blue turquoise smoke all around them. All the blue turquoise smoke is done. Okay, so you can see that. But see, those flowers are not done. Those pink flowers, those aren't done. So this corner down here has got more done. So it is a labor of love. It is a labor of love, this one. And so you can see how big it is. It's just a huge poster. It was kind of difficult to figure out where their bodies went and where their clothes went and what was what, because they kind of overlap. So some of it was hard to see. Was this his or hers or what? And then all their little feet are entwined. So thank you, Christine. So I do want to eventually finish this, but again, I had it out for a while on my desk and then just have it, available so that I would just work on it a little here and there. But I do have all the marker done. So the rest is just shading with pencil. So, yeah. So that's that one. And again, it folds up. And every time you fold it, you want to be careful. I think it goes this way because, you're bending it up. So let's see, this goes this way, and then it goes backwards, and there we go. So it all folds up into this poster like that. So, and I'm not sure where you can get it. I think Melody got it overseas. So you can look it up on probably on, what do you call it? Somewhere maybe on Etsy, but it was printed in Jakarta by a Indian printer. So you'd probably have to get it on Etsy. I'm assuming. So, but anyway, guys, thanks so much. I hope y'all enjoyed doing some marker, a little bit of paint, a little bit of pencil, a little bit of everything in one page, because I love doing the mixed media. So thanks everybody for all the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Ian, Colleen. Our new mods are Kathy Berg and Colleen, who both stream Tuesday. They stream together on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 10:30. So make sure you follow Kathy Berg and Scrap Colleen. And we will see you guys later. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you, Vonnie. Hugs, Vonnie. All right, guys. Bye, Eileen.